Hey, Margaret with Eamon Gantner and Capriano. Before you packed your child off to college, did you get a power of attorney for them? Eamon Gantner and Capriano, YourEstateMatters.com.
The choice of an attorney is an important decision and shouldn't be based solely on advertising.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Mark Scores, The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Good morning, friends. It is a beautiful day out there in St. Louis on this Thursday, May 7th. Good to have you with us today. Please join the show by calling and texting. The number is 314-436-7900. And if you've got the Odyssey app on your phone, which you should, because you can listen to the station and all the show's podcasts, including ours, and Cardinals baseball as it happens, free on the Odyssey app. You can leave us voice messages from there as well. Really easy to do that. If you're listening to the show, you see a button that says leave a message. You can record one and send it, and you might get to hear it on the air. Also, if you want to watch us, you could do that too. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Mayor Spencer's office has a plan to spend the Rams settlement money of the $255 million. A good portion of that there is a plan for, though it is not final.
Get your texting fingers ready.
Oh, boy.
Because I imagine you're going to have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Also, the U.S. is still navigating an exit in the war in Iran. Major Garrett, CBS chief Washington correspondent, joins us at 10:30.
Cardinals split the series with the Brewers. It was only 2 games, supposed to be 3, but there was a rainout. They will play in San Diego, where it is very unlikely to rain. They'll have the Padres tonight. It'll be a late one, folks. You're going to have to stay up late. 8:15 pregame on KMOX, and then the 9:10 first pitch from Petco Park, where the Padres play baseball.
Baseball.
I took it as far as I could take it.
Yeah, and probably too far.
Probably.
We appreciate it, though. Hey, you could lie in bed, get all cozy, snug as a bug in a rug,
Yeah.
and listen to Cardinals baseball.
Maybe it'll put you to sleep.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully it'll be a fun night in San Diego. So we have a plan, but I feel like when we talk about the ARPA money and the Rams money, we're just never really quite clear on what actually is being done with it. And I don't know if it's our fault for not paying close enough attention. And I mean our by what I mean is city, like all of us in the city, not necessarily us here on the show, because we do pay attention to what the plans have been. So Mayor Kara Spencer's office is pushing out a plan with the $255 million available to spend. This is from the Rams settlement money from years ago. The plan is to use 230 of it, and that leaves $25 million left over to put in reserve. They want to use $110 million of that rebuilding the north side after the tornado came through, $65 million on the water system in the city, streets and sidewalks, and $55 million on some downtown initiatives. So, I don't really know what the appropriate amount of money to spend on each of these things is. What I do know is, for a multitude of reasons, the tornado that came through was just crushing. It was crushing to families who lived and lost their homes, to people who were injured, and to generations of families that have to leave their homes, but also crushing to the city that had all this money to spend, and now they have to allocate, or the plan is to maybe allocate about half of it, a little less than half of it, to rebuild when we were hoping to be able to use it to do some more transformational stuff. And it's potentially not going to allow us to do that. And there are people who are advocating for all of that Rams money to be spent on the north side, which I don't think we should do that, because as we talked about all last week, when it comes to downtown St. Louis and how this city center is so important to the health of the entire region. And if you have a weak downtown or a dying downtown, your region is going to be weak. And with all the investment that needs to be done here in the city, it's unfortunate that a lot of this is going to have to go to disaster relief. Understandable, it will have to go to disaster relief, but it's like a kick in the gut that you weren't expecting to have happen.
Yes. And, a couple of things here. One, as you mentioned, a lot of people wanted all of that money to be spent on the north side and revitalizing the north side. We had the devastating tornado, and some of that money needs to be allocated to rebuilding it. The tornado heavily hit the north side. So the money that would be dedicated to tornado relief on the north side is still going to the same geographic area pre-tornado. It's, maybe some of it's going to be cleanup. Maybe some of that revitalization is going to look different than it would have. But if you keep the money in the north side, you can then repair, knock down, redevelop, whatever needs to be done, because I know some of the buildings cannot be saved. But you can repair the damage that was done by the tornadoes, but ideally you can also repair, develop, invest in the areas that needed that anyway, because there were a lot of buildings that could not be repaired. I actually went to the north side, Matt, and when we went in the couple days after the tornado hit, when we went, we spoke to some of the people who lived there, and they were able to point out which buildings had been damaged by the tornadoes, but which buildings had been in that state of neglect and disrepair before the tornado, right? And some of them looked the same, because there had been so much neglect there. And so if we can channel the money to the north side, maybe some of that development looks the same. But as you mentioned, if it needs to go to cleanup, it needs to go to repairing things that weren't broken, then of course it's going to cost more money. You don't want to neglect downtown, because important to note, remember the businesses that pledged to match, like up to $100 million, somewhere around there, all the money that's spent downtown, that's doubling your investment. So you can't ignore downtown.
Especially because I know that when we talked about this originally, when the settlement money came through, and it was the 750, I can't remember the exact money, 730, however much money it was, millions of dollars. We knew that not all of it was going to go to St. Louis proper. We knew not all of it was going to go to downtown, but a good portion of it was. The reality is $255 million to revitalize an entire city is not that much money. So it's not like you have that much to spread around anyway. Yes, $255 million is a lot of money, but to revitalize a major city or downtown, not. You need, in reality, we probably need in St. Louis billions in investment.
Yes.
It's not a quarter of a billion that's going to do it. We need billions, plural. So we need many, many more times this amount of money to really make this area a strong one.
But, right. You put it in perspective. How much did the LA Rams stadium cost? $6 billion? Just to show the gap in money that is being spent.
Exactly.
That single
the stadium
football
in
stadium.
Inglewood, yes.
Yes, cost $6 billion.
That's one stadium.
One stadium in LA. So if you want to just kind of look at the gap we're looking at here with the money that's being spent, and yes, my guess is that even though if you use $110 million rebuilding the north side, which was hit the hardest by the tornadoes, that is a drop in the bucket. And I understand why certain aldermen were saying, well, I had hoped more would be spent towards the north side. I think for the city as a whole, you need a downtown, so you can't ignore the fact that businesses have pledged to make the return 2-to-1 on any investment downtown. But to your point, even though we need much more money than we've got already to revitalize that north side, this is enough money to be a catalyst, I would hope.
Yeah. Get things started
because you can build on development, you can build on population, you can build on businesses. But I don't think you can spend all of it in the north side and neglect downtown. I think you need downtown. And we also know that with the polls that we're taking from the residents in the city of St. Louis, huge concerns with water and infrastructure.
Yeah, that was one of the number one things. It was about a year and a half or so ago, maybe 2 years. I don't remember the timeline, but because I was a city resident, I believe you were getting the emails too, right? We were getting regular updates from the city. You had to sign up for those emails. And then there was a voting system where they were asking people who lived in the city, what do you want to have happen with the Rams money as it came in? And there were all kinds of different suggestions that people levied, and then they let people basically vote on those suggestions. And fixing the water system was right near the top. If it wasn't number one, it was like number two.
Yeah.
So that's what people really want to have happen with that. And they are expecting, at least in this plan, that is a tentative plan. It is not final, but $65 million for the city's water system.
Which I also understand is a drop in the bucket when it comes to the water system. And as you mentioned, tentative being the key word here, as Alderman Brett Narian of Dogtown pointed out. He said, those numbers are going to move because they've moved in every meeting I've been in. That was his quote. And so you have to be careful about drawing conclusions from the bill. Alderman Rasheen Aldridge, his ward, we've talked to him, includes part of downtown as well as the north side. And he does wish that a little bit more of that money would go towards tornado recovery, even though his ward does include downtown as well. It's like you said, it sounds like a lot of money. It can be enough money to be a catalyst. It's not a panacea. It's not going to fix everything. But the tornado did hit the north side the hardest. And so technically, if those funds were going to be directed toward the north side, it didn't change the geographic location of that. I don't know how it makes those funds more inefficient. That's my guess, is that now it's more inefficient because you're dealing with such a mess. But maybe you're fixing up the areas that were hit by the tornado, and you include the areas that were not hit by the tornado on the north side.
Well, there needed to be revitalization done on the north side, investment done in the north side for decades. This goes back a long way, and it's a course that we really can't afford to keep going down, just because what does happen on the north side affects the rest of us too. It affects not just the folks who live there, but it affects downtown. It affects the rest of the city. And so if there is investment there, I think it would lead to better outcomes all over. Now, one thing I think, and this is not me, I'm not trying to bring this whole thing down, but I think we have to keep in mind, I've been doing a lot of reading about, and I don't know why, or how I went down this rabbit hole about the Tornado Alley.
Okay, I did hear this, yeah.
Which is shifting eastward.
Yeah.
That with the climate, which has been changing, that we're seeing higher frequencies of tornadoes moving more east. So now we're getting them more in Mississippi. It used to be like Texas, Oklahoma, and they're still getting those. It's still happening. But the window is starting to move east, which means we might start seeing a lot more of them here in St. Louis. We already have a great deal of them, but that once-in-a-generation tornado that tore right through the city, I mean, that's the kind of thing that could happen again. It could be more frequent. Hopefully not. Hopefully we're talking generations before it happens again, but it is something that we have to be mindful of.
Yeah. And again, just kind of going back to that north side where the tornado hit the location that we've wanted to revitalize. The thing is, now you're saying, how can we help all the families there who lost their homes, who are displaced?
Yeah.
Will the city of St. Louis be able to focus their efforts in an efficient manner in a way that they have not really done in the past, that they have not done at all in the past, I should say,
right,
to help the north side? And if there's one thing that the tornado did, I would hope it would get the leaders in the city of St. Louis to have some urgency towards that area and maybe get rid of some of the politics. That's probably being a little naive because, like I said, we haven't spent that much in North City. We haven't been able to revitalize that area. But now there's such a desperate urgency and need because the families have been displaced and businesses have been destroyed. Can we focus the efforts of the city of St. Louis now because there is that urgent need?
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Let us know what you think. 314-436-7900 to text or to call, and voice messages welcome on the Odyssey app. We're with you until 12 o'clock today. Then it is the Gas House Gang. We'll talk Cardinals, baseball, and more there on KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger, to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Hey everyone, I'm Josh Radner, and I am so excited to tell you about How We Made Your Mother, a rewatch podcast looking back at How I Met Your Mother. And I'm here with Craig Thomas, who co-created the show along with Carter Bays. Hi, Craig.
Hey, Josh. Somehow it has been 20 years since the show premiered. I'm going to check the math on that. 10 years since it went off the air, and we thought that made this a perfect time to look back, see what the hell we did, and why the show still seems to resonate with fans around the world today.
Follow and listen to How We Made Your Mother wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
A Mother's Day to remember. Join us May 9th and 10th at Warm Springs Ranch for the Budweiser Clydesdales Parade of Champions, a never-before open-to-the-public chance to see our majestic stallions braided, polished, and showcased like true champions. Browse the gift shop and make a full day of it. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. Festivities run until 3 p.m. Enjoy live demonstrations and meet a Clydesdale up close. Tickets are limited. Go to warmspringsranch.com.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
When you're injured on the job, you need more than just a workers' comp lawyer. When you need a fighter, you need us. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. For the people. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. If you or someone you care about is facing a family law issue, let us set up a 1-hour Cordell Consult. The Cordell Consult is a meeting with a local attorney who will give you clear guidance about your options, whether it's a separation, a postnuptial agreement, divorce, or custody. CordellCordell.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
One city, one voice. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Go ahead. You speak. Speak.
This was like a, no, you go. As always, we want to hear from you. 314-436-7900. We were talking about the Rams money being spent. A new plan from the mayor that would see the money apportioned out to tornado relief, the bulk of it on the north side, also downtown, and water and infrastructure. So we want to hear from you on that. But also an update, Ranj. Kim Gardner, man, she still filters into the news every now and then. But there was a man who was charged by Kim Gardner's office with murder. He stabbed a man 38 times, and it was deliberate. He went back. He told people he was going to do it. But those murder charges were dropped by Gardner's office in 2023 after extensive postponements, delays by prosecutors, and it was just a dropped case. So even though they had all the evidence on this guy that he had killed a man, the charges were dropped and he went free. 2 years later, this man brutally attacked another person, and he bragged about the attack in a video that he posted to social media. This time, because Circuit Attorney Gabe Gore is in office, he was found guilty by prosecutors. So I am so glad that this man is behind bars, but also so frustrated that this is the type of attack that should never have happened if Kim Gardner had done her job and put these criminals behind bar, even when they had the evidence. It wasn't that she even tried. This was just postponement and delays and neglect, and the charges were dropped.
Well, it's a good thing that there's somebody in the office now who's competent. So I hope that also not just in real world consequences, but in perception, I hope it starts to change things, because the real world consequences is that the office is going through with more prosecutions. People are being held accountable like they should have been held accountable. But now it's got to translate into people feeling it. You know, it's got to translate into St. Louisans and people outside the city, you know, people in the suburbs here, feeling like, yeah, okay, that circuit attorney is really doing good work. And you know what? He's been doing good work for a couple of years now. It's not like he just got on the job. This has been a thing that has been ongoing. And it doesn't mean that crime is over in St. Louis. Of course it's not. There are still issues. We still see things happen. But it's about what happens after those crimes occur. Are we taking care of business? And at least this guy appears to be, and this office appears to be doing the job.
Yeah, and there's more details. This is from St. Louis Magazine. Ryan Kroll doing great work here. And the man that was charged with murder and had those charges dropped. So it was between 2018 and 2023. So for 5 years, he was the subject of a years-long prosecution for murder. Basically, there was a man, Greg Stevens, 71 years old, lived in Old North St. Louis, involved in businesses, owned a wine shop, and they said he always had an open door. And he was rehabbing a home in Old North St. Louis, and he allowed this man, the murderer, who had not murdered anyone yet, and a 19-year-old woman to live with him because he had an open door. Said, you need a place to stay, you can come live with me. But the man got aggressive with Stevens. Stevens said, I'm going to have to kick you out. You're getting too aggressive with me. And that made the man so angry that he broke into his house later and stabbed him 38 times. And prosecutors could not get a conviction. They couldn't even get the case to go to trial, despite the fact that they had all that evidence. And so in 2023, the man assaulted a man outside the Mark Twain Hotel. And this time he did get charged. And so he'll be sentenced in June. He could get up to 30 years, but we'll have to wait and see.
Good. I mean, again, it's good they'll take care of this because it should have been taken care of a long time ago. As Amy mentioned, we do want to hear from you, 314-436-7900, and multiple texts coming in about that money, the Rams settlement money going to the north side. And most of these texts are asking, well, what about insurance? What doesn't homeowners insurance take care of all of that? Why do we have to spend $100+ million there? And I mean, yeah, homeowners insurance should. In a lot of cases, they're having trouble, and in some other cases, people don't have
a lot of cases.
People don't have the homeowners insurance because the homes have been passed down from generation to generation, and there are people who are pretty poor who don't have the money for homeowners insurance.
Very, very low income area, right? There are a lot of areas that have just struggled with cycles of poverty. But yes, There are homes that have some insurance where it's not going to cover all of it. There are homes that don't have any insurance at all. And as you mentioned, some of these homes, and this has been noted as well, are passed down from generation to generation, maybe from grandma to mom to a son or daughter. But the thing is, a lot of times they're in a situation where maybe they don't have the paperwork. They don't have the money. They don't have the money to pay for the home that was passed down. And if you don't have a title to your home, you can't get insurance. It's hard to move forward. I think it was a struggle for them to get ARPA funds if they can't even get help from government relief without a title. And so it gets very complicated.
And for the people who do have insurance, there's been difficulty in getting payouts. We've seen and talked about the folks with resources, the people with money who have been told, oh, this is going to be years before your home is getting fixed. Right. So it's not just that. But it is. I don't think we should abandon them. And I think it's crazy for people. And we've got multiple people texting in to say, well, they made bad choices and they should have to deal with that. That's what an inhumane way to look at it. It's nobody's fault they got a tornado come through town. And it's not their fault they don't have money for homeowners insurance, if that happens to be their case. When we come back, the Gateway Grizzlies. You ever been to a Grizzlies game?
I have not.
Seemed like a lot of fun. Well, they're opening their season next week. That's right, next week. And we're going to talk to the GM of the Grizzlies, Kurt Ringkamp. He will be with us when we come back on KMOX.
Before a nation, there was an idea. Before freedom, there was a sacrifice. This year, KMOX marks America's 250th birthday. Step into history with John Hancock and Michael Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, as they pulled you into the moment where everything was on the line. This is the sound of a nation being born. Celebrate America, 250 years strong, with Hancock and Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, only on KMOX.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
Sunny and 56 right now. Really pretty day. A high today of 69. Tonight, clear with a low of 50.
Let's talk about Air Medical memberships. In an emergency, you don't choose who transports you. Dispatch sends the closest, most appropriate aircraft. Here's what matters: speed, skill, advanced care. Like critical care crews trained for the toughest moments. Like onboard blood that can make the difference between life and death. Arch Air Medical Service delivers life-saving air medical care across Effingham and surrounding communities. When you call for help, we bring hospital-level care to you. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. And about the cost, the No Surprises Act protects patients with private health insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You're only responsible for your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. Medicare and Medicaid patients have similar protections. No surprise bills, no balance billing, no membership required. Because when it's your life on the line, what matters isn't membership, it's medicine. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-292-4382. That's 800-292-4382. 800-292-4382.
What if your bathroom felt less like a routine and more like a daily escape? Glover here from my friends at Michael's Baths. They can transform ordinary bathrooms into beautiful, comfortable spaces for homeowners across St. Louis and all the surrounding areas. And now they're introducing new premium walls, perfect for those who love the look of stone without the upkeep. It's sleek, durable, and designed to elevate your space. For a limited time, enjoy a free rain shower head or upgrade with safety features like grab bars or a built-in seat. Call us at 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
Today, the Cards, the Padres.
Ameren Total Access 8:15. First pitch 9:10.
Cardinals Radio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The Gateway Grizzlies, it's a fun minor league team that plays their games just across the river in Illinois, and they are beginning their season on Tuesday, May 12th, and guess what else? Their games will be broadcasted here on the Odyssey app. So if you download the Odyssey app, you can listen to Gateway Grizzlies baseball. And joining us to discuss that, the general manager of the Gateway Grizzlies, Kurt Ringkamp, is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Kurt.
Good morning. How are we doing today?
We're doing great. How are you? Because the season is coming up. You must be ready to go.
Oh, yeah. We've been grinding here, getting everything ready for the stadium, ordering all our new swag, getting all the promotions in line. The Frontier League actually starts today. So the Grizzlies just left about 6 a.m. today to head down to Mississippi for the first weekend. And then, like you said, we'll be home May 12th, next Tuesday, for the home opener.
Excellent. What are you looking forward to this season?
Well, we're kind of changing a lot what we're doing over here. We had a lot of longtime employees kind of retire last year, so we thought it was kind of a new time to have a kind of a new era. So we got a new MC, DJ Smooth. We have a new hype host, kind of like a DJ that'll be on the concourse, kind of directing the game and letting kids come up, pick wacky songs for the visiting team. Just kind of get the crowd, their feet throughout the game. And then, a lot of fun promotions that we added this year that we haven't done before. So it's, I'm excited to get out there and, start seeing the fans back here.
Can you tell us about some of the promotions specifically?
Yeah. So like we said, May 12th, Tuesday is our opening day. We're doing out limited edition rally towels for opening day. We got post-game fireworks after the game. So, if you're looking for a nice midweek game to go to, May 12th is the opening day. May 15th, next weekend, we got our Touch a Truck night. So we'll have fire trucks, police cars, monster trucks, boats, anything that kids can kind of get in there, mess around with the buttons, get some photos. That'll be really fun. Then we got post-game fireworks that night as well. And then we're doing, actually, it's been kind of popular over the last couple of years, alternate identities in minor league baseball. So we're rebranding for 2 games this year. We're going to be known as the Disco Penguins, kind of giving throwback to the 70s, 80s, the disco phase. So we got awesome new swag, new jerseys, hats. We're going to be playing disco music kind of all night, do a costume contest and dance contest throughout the game. So that'll be kind of a wacky game, and that's on May 27th. And the second one's on August 27th.
Well, okay, so you definitely don't want to do the you do not want to repeat disco demolition.
No.
I don't know if you're familiar with disco demolition. You do. Yeah. So for people who don't know, this was back in the 70s. The Sox did this. They invited people to bring their disco records, and they exploded them in the outfield. And it started a riot. So don't do disco demolition.
Is that why you went with Penguins? Because
they don't.
I mean, disco demolition. I mean, that was 40 years ago. People were still talking about it. So in my mind, that was a great promotion. So.
That's a great point.
That's true.
This is why they pay this guy the big bucks. That's why he's in that position. He gets it.
Hey, you know what? Do a disco demolition part 2.
Maybe we'll see how the first game goes for the Disco Penguins. And like I said, the second one's in August. Maybe we'll throw that in there. Let's bring it back.
I don't want to get stuck on the Penguins, but how did you pick, if it could have been disco fill in the blank? Am I missing something with Disco Penguins? Is that something that already exists?
No, I mean, we were trying to find something that was a cool logo that, kids kind of be excited about, something that's fun instead of just, like just something kind of bland. So we thought Penguins is kind of a fun little thing, and we just wanted to do kind of a disco thing. Trust me, we went through about 40, 50 different ideas before we kind of decided on the Disco Penguins. The logo is really cool. The jerseys really pop. So we think it's going to be fun.
I love it.
Am I invited to Bounce House Fest?
come on out. Bring anyone you want.
Can I be in the bounce house? And
Yeah,
what is
so-
a bounce? Are there multiple bounce houses? Is that what a fest is?
Yeah. So that's July 28th through the 30th. We have a big grass lot right next to the stadium that we've used for bounce house festivals before. So we figured, why don't we just put one on ourselves during the game? So we'll have like 10 to 12 bounce house out there, a big foam party. There'll be a DJ and stuff like that, and people can just go to that area and then come back into the game as many times as they want. So that'll be fun. But I think we might need an adult session only one for you, though.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can't like. You're a big guy. You're like 6'5". You're gonna hit some kid.
I'm only 6'2".
Well,
What's the height limit on a bounce house?
You know what? I think we're gonna make it 6'3". So I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
it's
All right, good.
out of that.
Hey, May
I'm in.
16th is Star Wars night. That's the one I'm interested in.
Yeah, May 16th. Yeah, that's next weekend. We have cool custom jerseys that we wear that one, and we bid those online. You can bid on those to get them right off the players' backs. They'll sign them, and actually all the proceeds for that will go to Cardinal Glennon for those jerseys. So, if you want to come support a good cause at Cardinal Glennon and get a cool Grizzlies Star Wars jersey, that's a great night to be out here. And we'll have different costumes and characters roaming the ballpark throughout the night to get photos with.
Is it the 501st Division? I was just talking about them this week. The 501st Division.
He doesn't know what that is. Nobody
That's
knows what that
all the
is.
people that are the legit Star Wars characters. That's
Yes,
them.
there's the top brand ones, and there's guys that just it's kind of like a Halloween costume. But yeah, these guys, it looks like they walked right off the screen. That's how legit their costumes are.
That's awesome.
We're talking with the GM of the Gateway Grizzlies, Kurt Ringkamp, with us on KMOX. And so we have heard about the Odyssey app and Grizzlies games to be broadcasted on the app. How did that come about?
Yeah, we've been wanting to kind of expand our brand a little bit. In Odyssey is just nationally recognized, and obviously has great stations like KMOX right here. So we thought it'd be a good switch to kind of grow our fan base in the St. Louis area on a well-established app. In the past we were just kind of using Mixlr, and the app wasn't that great for that. So we thought it was a good time to change, and we kind of reached out to Odyssey, and since August we've been talking to them, and we're excited to give our fans an easier way to listen to our games if they can't come to the ballpark or watch it on the stream.
Yeah, and I imagine, the Frontier League has been around for a long time, so there are probably fans that have been fans for a long time or multiple generations where, it's so fun to be able to lean into a local team like this.
Yeah, this is our 26th season. I think the 33rd maybe for the Frontier League. But yeah, we'll have people come that are, in their 60s and 70s now, and they'll be talking about a promotion we did 20 years ago. Like, hey, when's that night? Oh, that was 20 years. We're not doing that anymore. We got, trying to bring in new stuff. But yeah, it's great to see that, and they're bringing their kids now since we've been around long enough to kind of, like you said, go through generations.
What is it that is most appealing, do you think, with minor league baseball and specifically a league like the Frontier League? Is it more a family focus than anything else?
Yeah, I know with the Savannah Bananas kind of taken off, I actually kind of use them as an example. This is kind of our version of the Bananas, but it's professional baseball. It's definitely very family oriented, bringing the young kids. It could be tough when you go to MLB game and you got to just kind of sit in your seat. We don't have that here. We got a Grizzlies drum line this year that we got coming out. Just trying to get the fans engaged in every single aspect of the game, from pitching changes to in between innings, all the promotions, throwing out swag, the kid zone. We got a prize wheel. We got face painting, balloon artists. So it's tough when you're a young kid, 5 years old, and sitting around just watching baseball is boring. But here, there's something to go the entire game for everybody.
Yeah, I think that it makes it an event where, like you said, the kids can be involved, the family can be involved. So, yeah, I would imagine as your fan base has grown, as the promotions have evolved, as you said too, you've seen, whether it be older fans or just like families making new young fans.
Yeah, we try to do a little bit of everything. We're doing a salute to the Negro Leagues on June 11th, and we're kind of partnering that with our annual St. Louis Browns night. We're giving away retro bobbleheads for those two nights. That's kind of Browns related. So that's kind of your older generation. But then, just the next week, we're doing a Marvel night where we're trying to break the world record for most people dressed up as Spider-Man in one location. So
Love that.
Yeah, and we're giving out Funko Pops of Spider-Man, and hopefully there's 600 people here dressed as Spider-Man just walking around. So it's I mean, depending on what game you come to, there's something for everybody though.
I'm gonna bring my Spider-Man costume to the Bounce House Fest.
Yeah,
that's fine too. We'll allow it.
Do you encourage people to just show up in costume anyway?
Yeah,
no matter what the night is.
Yeah, we try to have some type of theme on every single game, so that way they can kind of wear something if they, if it kind of fits in with those nights. We're doing like a Jurassic ballpark, so we're gonna have dinosaur costumes, like real looking dinosaurs, kind of on the concourse, and people come to those games with dinosaur eggs on their head or dressed up as like Yoshi or something. So, we'd love to see that. The wackier the better.
GM of the Gateway Grizzlies, Kurt Ringkamp, with us, and you mentioned the Savannah Bananas. Has that whole thing opened? Has it opened things up for minor league teams like yours?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, maybe it gets our name out there a little bit more because we do a lot of the same things that they do. And we're actually really, 2 years ago, if somebody would come up to me almost every week and be like, hey, when are the bananas coming here? When are the bananas coming here? I'm like, well, we can't get them, but it, put a light bulb in my head. Why don't we just do our own version of the Savannah Bananas outside of the Grizzlies? Because, you can't have guys batting on stilts and stuff during the Grizzlies game. So we developed our own. It's called Spooky Ball. We do it in October. It's going to be October 25th this year. We do trick-or-treating on the concourse before the game, costume contest, and then throughout the game, we have dance-offs with the fans and the players, and we bring kids out there to kind of do at-bats. And we had a kid last year, a 5-year-old kid. Everything he did, the players had to dance. So he was doing the 6-7 and the floss and stuff like that. So it's fun to see the players do that. So, yeah, I mean, we want to try to adapt what they're doing over here the best way we could, and that's been a fun Spooky Ball event.
So that's October, and that's after the season is over, correct?
Yeah. So the Grizzlies will go through Labor Day weekend, and then if they make the playoffs, it could be another 3 weeks. So we just trying to add extra events, stuff like that, to kind of be relevant year round instead of just during the Grizzly season. We got the TK Pro Rodeo presented by Ray LaFleur Truck Service. That's in early October. And then, like I said, Spooky Ball presented by Seth Q. That's in the end of October. So try and just stay relevant year round.
Gateway Grizzlies open up the season on the road, technically tonight, but then next week they will play at home on Tuesday. And, of course, you can listen to the games now on the Odyssey app or go over there and catch a game in Sauget. GatewayGrizzlies.com to find out all the information you need. Kurt Ringkamp, GM of the Grizzlies, we appreciate you. Good luck this season, and thank you for being with us.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks.
That is Kurt Ringkamp, general manager of the Gateway Grizzlies.
That's fun.
And that's spooky night?
I imagine, like you said,
Spooky Ball?
That he did say Spooky Ball.
That's right.
A rising tide lifts all ships.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Savannah Bananas effect, too.
And if you do even just a tenth of what they do,
mm-hmm.
for people who live a few miles away, it's super easy to take the kids and go do that.
Affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say this. The bananas are pretty affordable. I mean,
What did you pay for your tickets?
Last year, was it $50? You don't get to choose your seats so much.
Okay.
They give you a range, and then it's weird how they do the lottery. I think this season I was lucky enough to get some more. So some friends and I are going.
Nice.
I think they were $40.
Yeah, and
$40 a ticket, which is pretty cheap.
It's affordable, yeah. But it's kind of like with baseball games, you could go to a Cardinal game less than that.
Right.
If you depending on your seats. But anyway, I think that's fun. I think it's great. It keeps the kids involved. I don't know. I need to go to Star Wars night.
You should go to Star Wars night. And I'm going to go to Bounce House night. But you can get tickets for like $12 to go see the Gateway Grizzlies.
That's fun.
Looking forward to that. It is the Chris and Amy Show. Did you see this? Is next on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Hey guys, Kevin Wheeler here for FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of KMOX, and I do like to brag that it's been my official sportsbook longer than it has been for the station. The station only goes back to the beginning of this year, and I go back, I don't know, at least 7 or 8 years, but I had to travel before to use it, and now I get to play at home. And right now, I'm playing along at home with the NBA playoffs because FanDuel is giving me better payouts on same-game parlays. You get the same benefit. So more ways to build and more value every time you play. You can stack your picks your way for every single game, every matchup, and every moment, whether it's spreads, player points, threes, whatever. You can build it all into one same-game parlay and go for the bigger payout. So if you're getting same-game parlays in your line to go, then this NBA postseason, you want to be doing that on FanDuel. It's more options, better payouts, all NBA playoffs long. Just go to FanDuel.com/Missouri to get yourself started. And remember, FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA. Play your game. Also remember that you have to be 21 or older and present in Missouri. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
On Saturday, May 16th, join KMOX and Grassroots Redeeming Love in commemorating 1 year since the historic EF3 tornado that devastated North St. Louis with a short morning of service. Volunteers will meet in the Kingsway East neighborhood from 9 to 11 to help clear tree limbs and trash. If interested in RSVPing for the cleanup or interested in donating to the effort, go to KMOX.com/events for more information.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenager's gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
Stan Musial, he missed a season in his prime to serve his country in the Navy.
Honor a legend on Saturday, May 16th when the Cardinals face the Kansas City Royals. Fans can secure a Stan Musial military bobblehead presented by Coca-Cola and Deerbirds. This patriotic collectible celebrates Stan's Hall of Fame career and his service to our country. A true symbol of character on and off the field. A tribute worth displaying and remembering. Don't miss it. Get tickets and details at cardinals.com/promotions.
Some Sundays are made for the water. Sunday, May 17th, as the Cardinals take on the Kansas City Royals, make it a ballpark day too. That day, you can score a Cardinals boat tote presented by Coca-Cola and Walmart. A classic summer bag that fits right in from the dock to the dugout. It's ready for long weekends, sunny afternoons, and whatever plans you have next. Get tickets now at cardinals.com/promotions.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
All right, we didn't spend much time on Ted Turner yesterday. Obviously, the founder of CNN, former owner of the Braves, the creator of the 24-hour news cycle. But so many of the stations that we watch, TBS, TNT, Turner Classic Movies, my favorite station. If I won the lottery, I think I would also become a patron of Turner Classic Movies to preserve all of those old movies. And also, Ranj, the Cartoon Network. And there was a really funny interview. And it was maybe a few years ago talking about the stations that he had started. And they're like, yeah, you started CNN. And he said, don't forget the Cartoon Network. And they're like, oh, yeah, that too. He goes, no. Cartoon Network gets twice as many viewers as CNN.
Well, it's the Cartoon Network.
I know. And I just, it was pretty funny. To be honest, those are my favorite stations. I only watch a handful of stations. I watch TNT because the NHL on TNT. I love Turner Classic Movies. I love the Cartoon Network, and I watch CNN. And I realized, oh my gosh, I've got the Ted Turner package. That's the YouTube package that I watch, basically.
I honestly did not know that the Cartoon Network was his.
Well, it was. And I did not know that he lost a huge chunk of his fortune when the .com bubble burst. Like, he lost billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars. But they said he told Charlie Rose in a 2008 interview, when Charlie Rose asked him about it, like, you lost so much money. He said, well, hardly anybody wins all the time, and I've won more than most. And he just took it in stride.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Good for him. Interesting fella. There was I was listening to or watching an interview last night because CNN covered it, obviously. I think it was Anderson Cooper, and it was a former anchor. And she had a meeting with him because he was trying to bring her over from PBS.
Okay.
And she said something to him like, how do you feel about females in journalism, women in journalism?
Yeah.
This was years ago. And he goes, I'm married to Jane Fonda. Yeah. How do you think I feel?
Yeah.
Because she was very forward about that. So I think that was a really funny moment.
And I'll say this, I didn't know he owned an estimated 2 million acres of land across 8 states, making him one of the largest individual landowners in the U.S. He was married 3 times. He was a 4-time Yachtsman of the Year recipient. He went duck hunting with Fidel Castro, and he donated $1 billion to the United Nations.
This is not so much a did you see this, it's more of a have you seen it?
Okay.
Because it's been around for almost 50 years. And the Cardinals just played the Brewers. Of course, they played here in St. Louis. They didn't play in Milwaukee. That's going to happen later on. Did you know about the man who in 1978, his name is Mark Gubin, and he went up to the rooftop of his building in Milwaukee, his apartment building where he lived, and he painted the words in big white lettering on the roof, "Welcome to Cleveland"?
Yes.
You know about this guy?
I have seen this guy. He has struck fear and panic in the hearts of many a traveler.
People who are landing at the airport fairly nearby for years have seen the sign and thought, oh no, we're in the wrong city.
What a troll.
And he goes up there every year and repaints it to make sure it's good.
Because what city are they actually flying into?
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee, yeah.
And so as they're landing, some people look out the airplane window and say, why does that say welcome to Cleveland?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
That's, you know what that is?
I love that so much.
That is commitment to the bit.
It is. It's great trolling. He's been doing it since 1978.
He was the original troll.
Very good.
That's awesome.
I love that so much. When we come back, we'll talk Cardinals baseball. In fact, they have been playing pretty well. They split that series, which ended up being a 2-gamer against the Brewers. Now they're on the road to face the Padres in San Diego. We've got the host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, and pre- and post-game coverage, Matt Pauley, joining us next on KMOX.
Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, let's talk about refinancings, and let's just bottom line this. Everyone needs money at some point in their life.
You know what, Dave? There's so many different ways you can make money. Number one, go to a lower rate. If you financed over the last 3 years, chances are you're paying a higher rate than what you can today. Refinance with the Bagel loan, no closing costs at all. That's number one. Number two, a lot of people are concerned not about the cash flow, but overall interest that you're paying. Go from a 30-year to a 20-year. The rates are lower on a 20-year versus a 30-year. Save hundreds of thousands of dollars. And third is the real easy way. You need cash. I need cash. Take cash out. Refinance now. Take the money you need. Keep the payment the same. It's easy. It's simple. All with no closing costs with that Bagel loan.
If you're looking to save money, get a little cash to your pocket, and do it with the right person, give Stewie a call or a text on his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or Google the Bagel Loan, NMLS 226715.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. The 9 a.m. staff meeting? How about breakfast burritos and lots of coffee? Big client presentation at noon? Let's do Mediterranean bowls. Accounting's gotta work late. Keep them pepped up with spicy noodles. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
Spring is showing up and showing out. Give your yard its own moment with limited time deals from Lowe's. Grab select 1.5-gallon annuals hanging baskets, 2 for only $15. Plus, we've got Miracle-Gro 0.75 cubic foot garden soil, 5 bags for just $10. A little dirt, a little color, and we are so back. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid 5/7 through 5/13. Selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Guys, Kevin Wheeler here. I want to tell you about the Burn Balance Complex, which is available at supplement superstores. And it's Burn Balance Edge for the guys. It's Burn Balance Zen for the women. And what this is very simply a complete metabolism system. It's not just a simple fat burner. It's way more than that. It works with your body to get the metabolism working the way that it's supposed to. So what you notice right away, what I've noticed here in the first couple of months is your shirt will lay a little bit flatter, your pants fit a little bit looser. It's not like that as immediate, but it comes pretty fast. This is a great natural weight loss option for people that don't want prescriptions or injections. If those aren't for you, go to supplement superstores and check out the Burn Balance Complex. On top of getting the metabolism working, you're going to get reduced stress with lower cortisol levels. You're going to have appetite control and craving control, all-day focused energy without the jitters that come with energy drinks. And look, it's not magic. You got to do things the right way, but the Burn Balance Complex makes it so much easier. So get out to supplement superstores. Tell them Kevin Wheeler sent you in. They will knock 30% off the Burn Balance Complex for you right there, and you can find your location at supplementsuperstores.com.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
It is 10 o'clock. We've got plenty of sunshine, 56 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Several southern states in the process of redrawing congressional district lines as Republicans try to hold on to their slim majority in the House when voters go to the polls in November. CBS's Ed O'Keefe reports from Montgomery, Alabama, where officials are waiting for federal court approval to redraw the map in what's already a heavily Republican state.
They'd basically like to make it more Republican, arguing that the Voting Rights Act decision that came down from the Supreme Court last week opens the door to let them doing so, because the court essentially ruled that race no longer has to be as big a factor in drawing congressional district lines.
Tennessee, Alabama, and South Carolina doing the same. Florida already has designed a new map to give them 4 more Republican seats. That's being challenged in court. The Vatican says the need to work tirelessly in favor of peace was discussed in talks with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Rubio visited Rome on a fence-mending tour after President Trump's attacks on Pope Leo. The William L. Clay Senior Early Childhood Development Center at Harris Stowe is closing at the end of June. The university's Board of Regents made the decision after a multi-year review of the center's financial performance, which finds it operated at a sustained deficit and cut into the university's bottom line by $1 million. Harris Stowe says it is offering staff individualized transition support and information to families about alternative childcare options. The closure adds to concerns about critical childcare shortages in the St. Louis area. The director of the Missouri Alliance for Animals hopes people will press their lawmakers to pass HB 2292, a bill mandating cross-reporting for a group of professionals that spot elder, child, or animal abuse. Bob Baker says they have widespread support in the legislature, but
we do have a few naysayers that are vehemently fighting it, so it's going to be a close call. And I would urge any of your listeners to contact their state representative or state senator and let them know that you're supportive of this bill, because it's going to take a still more movement to get this across the finish line in the last couple of weeks of the session.
Some of those naysayers include State Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman, the Missouri Federation of Animal Owners, and the Missouri Pet Breeders Association. Baker says there is documented evidence that if a person will abuse an animal, they will abuse people. From the KMOX Business Desk, a neighborhood eyesore now up for sale. The former St. Alexius Hospital on South Jefferson in Dutchtown has had various owners over the past few years, but has been sitting vacant, leading to complaints of squatters, vagrants, and other problems. According to the Business Journal, about half the 9-acre property will be sold in a city land tax sale next week. 2 developers have expressed interest in redeveloping the site, according to a member of the property's ownership group. Both would be health-related.
Sunshine mixed with a few clouds and rather breezy this afternoon. A bit warmer too, the high 69. Clear much of tonight, though 52. Tomorrow, some sun followed by increasing clouds, breezy and a little warmer. There can be a shower or two in the afternoon, perhaps a thunderstorm, high 74. Partly sunny for Saturday, the high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Sunny and 56 degrees right now in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy for Team Renner here, America's oldest family-owned garage door company, serving both wholesale and retail markets. Free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door.
RENNER. Chris Ranji, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
And the pitch to Prieto is grounded to the right side. This could be 2 to second for 1, on to first, and it is a double play, and this game has come to an end. Prieto bounces out 4-6-3, and the Brewers win the second and final game of this short 2-game series by a score of 6-2.
Yo, Paulie! Paulie's a great name. Yo, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything?
Me, Paulie, I was responsible.
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Cardinals go into San Diego tonight with a record of 21-15. That puts them 3.5 games behind the Cubs in the National League Central. They're still playing some pretty good baseball, and if the season were to come to an end today, they'd be a playoff team. They would be in the wild card right now, and the team in front of them would be the Padres. So those would be 2 of your wild cards there. We are joined now by Matt Pauley, the host of Sports Open Line, Redbird Rush Hour, which happens at 5 o'clock, and Cardinals pre- and post-game tonight, 8:15 for the pregame show, 9:10 first pitch from Petco. What's going on, Matt Pauley?
I am ready for a late night of Cardinals baseball.
Yeah, you are, Bubba. Do you love these late games? Do you hate them? How do you feel about them? Are you indifferent?
I don't love them. I love what I do for a living, but it is a long, doing Redbird Rush Hour, then full Sports Open Line, then doing a full pregame, game, postgame, getting done well past midnight. I mean, it's not of everything I do work-wise, it's probably not my favorite scheduled day, but it's also not bad.
You should be happy, though, with the pitch clock.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man.
Yes, it's not as if game times have gone back up a little bit this year with, ABS is impacting the length of games. It's adding some time.
Isn't it only by a minute or two?
Yeah, but it feels like the Cardinals, I don't think the Cardinals have played quite as, I'd have to go look at the numbers. Maybe I'll do that before we talk next time. But it definitely feels like games are a little bit longer this year.
Well, you sports guys, I will say this, talking to you, Chris Ranji, Kevin Wheeler, it is a nighttime crowd. You gotta be.
The sports people.
Yeah. How do these guys do it when they have a show that starts at 5 a.m. like so many ESPN shows start? How do you watch the games and keep up on what happened the night before when some of those games end at midnight or 1 a.m. New York time, and then you're over at the mothership or whatever, and you're starting at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, I think Tom, I've talked to Tom about this because he's got to be up and ready for TIAM. I get the indication that on most nights, if it's a 6:45 game, he watches till the final out and then gets right to bed because he's got to be up in a few hours. I don't know. It's just the way things are. I mean, it's part of the gig.
It's the burden you bear.
I know some people who would, get highlights the next day.
Yeah. I would think you would have to. At any rate, enough about that. I'm just such an old person that when I see games that start late, I struggle. I think, well, I'll have to watch it the next day. I did that with some Blues games. I watched the West Coast games the next day because obviously on YouTube or whatever, you can watch them because I can't do it. I can't stay up till midnight. It messes me up.
I will say now, I don't do this as often as I should, but if there's with like MLB TV, each day they produce an abbreviated game where you can watch basically the entire game in like 7 to 11 minutes, depending on what happens in that game. So if I really need to watch a game that I didn't watch the previous night, this is more about, not so much about the Cardinals, but let's say I want to catch something that happened with another team, I can go watch the abbreviated game. And then for Cardinals fans, Matrix Midwest runs the 30-minute replay every day where the game is cut down into that amount of time. So there are areas where you can watch the game in less amount of time if you need to the next day.
NFL does that too with their Sunday ticket, or if you have NFL Plus or whatever, you can watch a game in 35 or 40 minutes. I can't remember, whatever it is. They take out all of the pre-snap, mid-snap, all that stuff. They just have the action.
We're spoiled.
We are. We really are. But that's expensive. The Cardinals, they continue to win, even though they lost that last game against Milwaukee. As I mentioned, they're in second place in the division. They've got a wild card spot right now. I mean, again, it's May 7th. But still, this is a team that is continuing to play pretty good baseball despite having some pitching trouble.
Yeah, I'm not overly upset about them losing yesterday's game. That's just kind of a standard loss that you have during the year. They played really well in that first game against the Brewers. You mentioned earlier that the season ended right now. They would be a playoff club. It's really hard to be upset about too many things with this team when the results are what they are. Now, that being said, there is some underlying things that are not great about this club. Some of the expected numbers are not fantastic. So if all of a sudden those start to regress to what the advanced numbers would make you think that they should be, then very quickly we can start talking about the things that are going wrong with this club. But right now, they're not going wrong.
So one of the things I think that, well, not I think, and it might be the most important thing for me this season is, the thing that we talk about every single time, and that is, just trying to get a handle on what the roster is and what you need for next year. And Andre Pallante, as of right now, who started last night, he's only given one quality start so far this year, and he wasn't particularly good. I know it's only May 7th, but do you think does it seem like he's going to end up factoring in the roster for 2027 or for the entirety of 2026?
Oh, that's a good question. I think it's a 50-50 proposition at best. I'm not trying to not answer your question, but I don't think he has anything guaranteed. That's probably the point of what I'm trying to say here. And I think he's been more good than bad. Yesterday, he was so frustrated with himself because he completely went away from his game plan with 2 outs in the first inning yesterday, and then they end up scoring the 4 runs there in the first. And he was just, if you heard his post-game media session, the frustration just oozed out of him. Now, at some point, some of these guys who are in the starting rotation are not going to be in the starting rotation and are not going to be in the organization. Right? Hunter Dobbins is going to be a full-time member of the rotation at some point in time. Richard Fitz is going to be a full-time member of the rotation at some point in time. Quinn Matthews, we can go on and on and on. So that means there are spots that are not going to be open, and there's going to be that much more competition. So I don't think anything at all is guaranteed for Andre Pallante, and I don't think he is probably as much as part of the long-term plan for the team as some of these other guys that I just mentioned.
When do you expect that Dobbins will get another opportunity?
I don't know. I have to look at the schedule. I mean, when's they want to utilize when there's a period without many off days. So let's see. They're going to finally get an off day here coming up on Monday. I don't know if it's going to be the rest of this month. There's an off day every single week. Maybe there's a scenario where between Tuesday the 19th and Wednesday the 27th, because they play 9 straight, Is there a possibility that they bring him up for that time? Probably for sure in the month of June. They go from June 9th to June 19th without an off day. It's kind of like what happened last year with Michael McGreevy when the schedule presents itself in a way where you just don't have off days and you want to be able to give the rotation that extra day of rest. You do that. So, I mean, I can't say for sure, but there's certainly some moments in the schedule here over the next 2 months that you can see why they would potentially bring him back up for a start.
As we sit here on May 7th, just thinking about what the Cardinals have accomplished so far and where they are in the division and what the results have been, is there anything this year that is really surprising to you with the way they are playing? It is maybe much of this. Okay, go ahead. Well, I mean, what do you think
the
it
home
is?
Runs.
A lot of
they've
power. That is an interesting development.
Yeah, they've been a top 4, top 5 team in home runs this year. That is over. Like one of my taglines going into the year was, I don't know how they're going to score runs, and I didn't. And the fact that they have hit as many home runs, now that's connected largely to 2 individuals. Jordan Walker and J.J. Weatherholt have hit a ton more home runs than you were expecting them to hit this year, so therefore the team has hit a ton more home runs than you were expecting them to hit this year. But that is, without a doubt, like it's a really easy answer for me. The fact that they've hit so many home runs is a surprise.
I'm not sure that this is related, but going into last night's game, the Cardinals are the team most hit by pitches this season. Going into last night's game, they've been hit by 28 pitches. Ivan Herrera has been hit 8 times. J.J. Weatherholt has been hit 7 times. What leads to that? Is this just the style of the way this young team bats, or is that the plate?
I think it comes back to individuals and the way that they do approach their at-bats, and it also has a lot to do with how teams are attacking this team. I mean, nobody wants to be hit by a pitch for sure. That's not something that they want, but at the same time, it is a way to get on base, and it's something that has helped result in some runs this year. So I don't think it's an over. You just mentioned 2 guys that get hit by pitches a ton. I think that's what leads to the big number, the fact that you've got a couple individuals. It's not so much a top to bottom team thing.
Matt Pauley, we love talking baseball with you, and we appreciate
Before
you.
Transition,
what?
Can I tell you time of game for the Cardinals? I looked it up.
The time of game for the? Oh yeah.
Like
what, for how long?
Yeah, so their games this year. They're a 9-inning game for the Cardinals is averaging 2 hours and 46 minutes, which is ranked 5th longest in all of baseball. And then that's just when it's come down to a 9-inning game. For their actual length of game, that is averaged out to 255. That's kind of middle of the pack. But that number is, let's see, in 2025, the Cardinals' length of game was, it's trying to bring it up, and it's taking a second. But 2 hours and 46 minutes is certainly, that's a bigger number than it has been in recent years.
Yeah, I think
here
it
it
was
is.
239
last year was
or something?
233.
233,
Cardinals
okay.
last year were
Wow.
233. So that's a 13-minute addition per game.
Well, tell them to stop it.
That's significant.
Speed it up, man. Well, just be happy that it's not 3.5 hours, because
I
that's
agree.
what it
So-
used to be.
All right.
It's
So you transitioned to wherever you were going. I
It
just wanted
takes
to get that
longer
in
to
there real
win.
quick.
It takes longer to win. That's
Hey,
why.
One other thing I just thought of. What happened at the ballpark last night? Did some guy try to jump off the second
Oh my
level?
gosh, I saw that.
Yeah, like there was a fight, and it was weird. I saw the video last night because the guy's arm or leg is like hanging over the overhang, and then all of a sudden it looked like somebody came in and kind of like punched him or whatever. There's some weird stuff happening at the ballpark here the last few days.
Well,
What else happened?
Well, I mean, there was the thing
but
in the
that
middle of
wasn't.
the
But
night.
that was in the
yeah,
middle of the
that
night.
wasn't-
That doesn't count. I think the headline should have been fixed. The headline should have said after hours, middle of the night,
Yeah.
right? That the thing happened because when I say something happens at Busch Stadium, don't you always picture a game in progress and people in stands? You never picture an empty stadium. So I think the headlines should have said after, middle of the night, after hours.
I was I'm walking out the other night, and the ballpark is empty, And obviously, like, somebody fell or something, and there was a fair amount of blood that was, like, just left on the concourse for the cleaning people to pick up. And I didn't think it was blood. I thought it was
Snow
like
cone
coolant
juice?
or something that had come out of the pipes. But then there was a chair next to it with, like, a sign on it that said, "This has blood, please disinfect." I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Look
Oh
at
my
this.
gosh.
Where the hell are we?
What's going on? Maybe someone got hit by a ball.
It was at the bottom of an escalator, so I'm worried, like, maybe somebody
Oh.
tripped falling off the escalator.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
All right, well, be careful, buddy,
Yeah.
and we'll be listening for the pregame.
Did you have something else for me? I changed I did a left
I
turn.
don't know. I think that's it.
All right.
I don't even remember anymore. You've got Rush Hour, Redbird Rush Hour, and Sports Open Line, and pregame, and postgame?
I got it all.
Look at you, man. A whole night of Matt Pauley tonight.
Way too much Matt Pauley, but what can we do?
We'll be listening to all of that starting at 5 o'clock with Redbird Rush Hour here on KMOX. Bye, Matt.
So I can text you at the end of my post game because you'll be up listening?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, good deal.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Sports Open Line.
Yep.
Redbird Rush Hour first. That's at 5. Sports Open Line at 6. Taking you into the Cardinals pregame show at 8:10. And then a first pitch, 8:15. And then a first pitch of 9:10. A lot of Cardinals talk you're going to get tonight starting at 5 o'clock. And then the baseball game here on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
Inflation is squeezing budgets, and global events can shake markets overnight. If you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. So this is not the time for I hope it works out. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting an upcoming educational seminar called Retirement Simplified. You'll learn how rising costs could drain your spending power, how political and economic headlines can impact your returns, dealing with issues like taxes, outliving your money, and long-term care. Retirement Simplified, May 19th and 21st. It's complimentary, but you must qualify to attend. 636-230-8824 or at yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, or registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. The All Financial Group is not affiliated with nor endorsed by the U.S. government or any other government agency.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Hey, Missouri, it's game time. Start betting like a pro with the world's largest sports book at your fingertips. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I'm a lifelong sports bettor, and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. It's sports betting, the way it should be, with high limits, player-friendly pricing, exceptional customer service, and more. Download your new bookie at circusports.com. The action starts now, Missouri. Experience the difference with Circus Sports. Bet like a pro.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Siteman Cancer Center Spotlight, and we are discussing esophageal cancer with Dr. Raymond Jin.
Curative, that's a complex decision that involves what we call multidisciplinary care.
So that involves a surgeon, a medical oncologist, radiation oncologist. So you need the expertise, and that's something that we have here at Siteman, especially geared for these esophageal cancer patients.
Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer. Visit siteman.washu.edu.
I'm Ultima Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Every time one of my children started driving, it was terrifying. Thousands of accidents happen across the country. We see it every day. If you've been injured in a car accident, call us.
Dial pound law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett. I'm a board-certified master arborist, and I've been caring for St. Louis trees for over 25 years. Today, I'm going to help you choose a tree care contractor. Here's how it's done, so pay close attention. First, call everyone you know who has ever done any type of outdoor work, including that cousin that used to sleep on your couch. Leave them all messages and wait around to see if they call back. Here's a hint, they won't. Now, post to all your social media that you are looking for recommendations for a good tree service. Now, beware because there will be hundreds of different recommendations. So you need to carefully go through each one, checking that they have the proper insurance, background checks, and even the slightest idea of what they're doing. Schedule a bunch of appointments, and when nobody shows up, get really frustrated and put the whole project off for another year. Or you could just call Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. KMOX, the voice of St. Louis.
Amy Marks Course, Chris Ranji on KMOX until 12. Then the Gas House Gang. It'll be Bernie Miklasz and me. We will talk to Mike Farron from MLB Network Radio. A lot of baseball discussion happens at 12 on the Gas House Gang today, and from 12 until 1 every day. So speaking of baseball, this is the first I had seen of this was last night. And I guess I saw it on social media, but at Yankee Stadium, they do... there's the kiss cam and all kinds of different cams they do where they point to people in the crowd.
They do filter cams at some places.
Filter cams.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a thing at Yankee Stadium called Oblivious Cam.
They do that at Enterprise. Yep.
They do it at Enterprise too?
They do it before the Blues games.
Oh, before the game.
Yeah. Because during the game, right, they're showing the game on the screen.
Okay.
At the Jumbotron. But before the game, right before the game, they do Oblivious Cam, and sometimes it will go for a long time. People start cheering, they start reacting, they start booing. Yeah.
Is it Yankee Stadium? Is it prior to the game or is it during?
From the clip I saw online, I could not tell.
Yeah, I thought it was.
What point it was?
I thought it was during the game, maybe not. But I saw it last night, and they had a guy. And he broke their record. It was like 3 minutes and 9 seconds. Yeah. So what it is this. They pick somebody in the seats. They point the camera at them. They put it on the video screen in center field, and they just leave it there.
On that person.
Until the guy notices, or the person notices that they are on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And so last night it was 3 minutes and like 9 seconds or something before he finally noticed, and they were yelling about, oh, that's a record. That's a long time to not.
I need to talk to someone at the Blues because I could have sworn. My first thought was that we hit double digits before, but I know it's been 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes when the person is completely oblivious up there on the Jumbotron, and if that person specifically is on their phone, you get a lot of boos.
Well,
People start booing.
You know what? Now that I talk this through, it must be prior to the game because a commercial break isn't 3+ minutes, and the only time they'd be able to do this during a baseball game is in between innings. Well, it's not going to take that long.
Because once the game starts, the game is on the Jumbotron, and then they've got all their promotions, and it's just Oblivious Cam. Maybe they've done it. And I don't even think they've done it during intermissions because they have the in-game intermission report like that Joey Vitale does. And, but they do it before the games. I will say, I'm guessing it's inspired by people who go to these events and they're on their phones. You're booed less if you're not on your phone. If you're just looking around, people will laugh, but they won't really boo. But I've noticed when when you're just absorbed in the screen, the crowd's merciless.
And they should be.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think I love it. It's
kind of my worst nightmare,
clever
though.
idea.
What if you have a bug?
A bug?
And you think a bug in your nose. And you think no one's looking, and you're like, I got to fix this bug.
Well, before I pick my nose, I usually look at the screen to make sure I'm not on it.
That's smart. That's smart planning. You're an experienced nose picker.
That's right. I mean, what a great bit, though. I love it.
I think one of the great things at Busch Stadium they do is, I think it's the Tums cam, where it's usually somebody shoveling food into their mouth, like a huge plate of loaded nachos. And it's always fun when it's like somebody who really doesn't want to be on camera seen eating this ginormous hot dog or nachos. They're like kind of embarrassed. They're covering their mouth. I always thought that was funny.
Well, actually, along that line, do you know which one I can't watch? I literally have to look away because it will make me vomit.
Eating contests?
Well, of course, but they do this at Enterprise. They do the reverse cam.
Oh, where the food comes back out.
Where the food's like coming out of their mouth, and people are like, oh, and some of the food looks grosser than other foods because the crowd will audibly just groan, just recoil at the sight of nachos with meat, like Supreme nachos coming out of someone's mouth. Oh, it's so gross.
The lookalike cam at Enterprise, I think, is maybe the best of those little fun things they do between innings or between periods.
Yeah, and they get national attention for that because NHL.com and ESPN and the big national accounts have all reposted the Blues lookalike cams.
It's great.
I don't know how they do the lookalike cam. How do you scan for that?
Lots of cameramen, I think.
Well, they're constantly scanning the crowd.
I know, but I'm so bad. I also have face blindness.
Yeah, well, okay, so then you wouldn't get it.
Don't apply to the job.
That's why nobody asked you. I don't get it. I have face blindness. Like,
it feels like an impossible task. I couldn't find my dad in the crowd.
What you just did is the equivalent of the
What
people,
if you don't like beans?
Yeah, like
on the bean soup?
people who will put out on social media a recipe for
bean soup.
Nachos with olives or something, and then you go, well, I don't like olives.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, this isn't for you then.
No, I know. Except I was just trying to say, like, the magnitude of the feat is just, it doesn't make sense to me because, like I said, I couldn't find my dad in the crowd. I couldn't find you guys. I see a crowd and it all just blends together and I panic. I don't like.
That's why you didn't notice that I was there cheering you on during your race.
No, you were not there.
I was. You just didn't notice.
You didn't even know there was a race.
I did.
They
I was
had
like,
cleaned up
hey.
the cones.
I said, hey, Amy, way to go. Keep running forward. Left foot, right foot, left foot. Remember
right
I said that?
Oh, I did remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. From the second story window.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Thanks.
And you won that race because of me.
No, I lost. Remember,
That's
I lost
right, you're
the
a loser.
race.
Amy Marks Kors, Chris Ranji on KMOX. We had a cancellation. Major Garrett.
Unbelievable.
Major Garrett has something big that came up.
Yep.
And so he is no longer with us today.
No, he's...
Well, he's no longer with us today. Just today.
I'm going to text him right now and say that you just announced that Major Garrett is no longer with us.
Did that, like he is no longer with us for today. But he will be back next week on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Before YouTube DIY videos, before skip ad, before don't forget to like and subscribe, there was KMOX. And this Saturday, we're still at your service. At 8, the Garden Hotline with Michelle Reeser-West, sponsored by Chesterfield Valley Nursery. At 11, the Home Improvement Show with Rich Orris, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts. So, skip the videos and get it done right. KMOX is at your service, starting Saturday at 8.
This is Congressman Bob Onder. Americans demanded border security, and House Republicans delivered. According to the Department of Homeland Security, for 10 consecutive months, U.S. Customs and Border Protection has reported 0 illegal aliens released at the border. I'm proud to have worked with the Trump administration to secure our southern border and uphold our immigration laws, and will keep fighting to advance strong policies that protect Missourians and keep America safe.
Paid for by official funds authorized by the House of Representatives.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
absolutely gorgeous outside. Not a cloud in the sky. 58 degrees. Tonight, a high of 69. Excuse me, today a high of 69. Tonight,
Nice.
a low of 50.
Brought to you by USPS Ground Advantage.
Business moves fast. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Let's talk about Air Medical memberships. In an emergency, you don't choose who transports you. Dispatch sends the closest, most appropriate aircraft. Here's what matters: speed, skill, advanced care. Like critical care crews trained for the toughest moments. Like onboard blood that can make the difference between life and death. Arch Air Medical Service delivers life-saving air medical care across Effingham and surrounding communities. When you call for help, we bring hospital-level care to you. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. And about the cost, the No Surprises Act protects patients with private health insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You're only responsible for your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. Medicare and Medicaid patients have similar protections. No surprise bills, no balance billing, no membership required. Because when it's your life on the line, what matters isn't membership, it's medicine. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't vinyl, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Texter thinks you're wrong, Amy. When you were talking about the celebrity lookalike that they do at the Blues games. I don't think they do them at Cardinals games. But you're thinking about it backwards. They don't have celebrities in mind and then search the crowd for them. They're looking in the crowd. They find somebody who looks like a celebrity. Then they put it up on the screen.
And I responded, but the celebrity lookalikes are themed to the night. Christmas characters, Star Wars, famous
That's not every
teachers.
time, though. Don't they just
Most of the time. I mean,
it's
I went
always
to
a theme?
Yeah.
Always. Every single time it's a theme.
Yeah. From what I can remember, they never just have there's always some type of theme. It usually goes either with the season or maybe what they're doing. If it's not themed all the time, it's mostly themed. I mean, I went to, I don't know.
All right. I mean, you know better than me. You go to more games
this year. Yeah.
They don't do it every night?
I think they do it most nights. I mean, again, I'm up in the press box.
Yeah.
So I may miss it, but I will say most of the time it's themed.
Interesting.
So I mean, maybe it's a combination where they have the theme and then they see people, right?
Yeah.
It's not like they're saying, I'm looking for a guy that looks like Ferris Bueller. It could be a theme, and then any celebrity within that theme, if you see someone who looks like them. I still think it's a hard thing to do. I don't think it's as easy as it seems. At any rate, kudos to them. All right, I brought up a few weeks ago, it was actually in our conversation after the Mets broadcasters poo-pooed St. Louis, but I brought up the Mississippi Miracle, and I have been wanting to talk about this. The Mississippi Miracle is in reference to how Mississippi was almost last in the nation in reading, like 49th in the nation, and then they skyrocketed to 9th place within a matter of years. And then if you adjust for demographics, they're actually first. They're number one in the nation. And so I brought that up, and then I saw recently in St. Louis Magazine that at the Missouri legislature, there's a bipartisan bill that had support from all the Republicans and almost all of the Democrats that would institute, with certain exemptions, automatic third grade retention based on a statewide diagnostic test, aka automatic, you're getting held back if you don't hit a certain standard in literacy. And this push in Jefferson City is a big piece of what we saw in Mississippi. And I'll just lay some groundwork here for what happened in Mississippi, because we're seeing states like California try to follow in Mississippi's steps. There's a great story in it about it from The Atlantic, and said, for decades, education policy in Mississippi was so driven by a desperate desire to not be worst in the country that they would set abysmally low standards for what students should learn to advance and graduate, because the state and local leaders, the piece continued, believed that Mississippi kids were just too poor to make real progress. You can't hold them to higher standards. And because of that, Mississippi ranked near the bottom of the country, 49th in reading for years. But then from 1998 to 2024, fourth grade reading and math scores went from the worst to the best. And as I mentioned, when you adjust for demographic factors, Mississippi is in first place. So in 2009, the legislature in Mississippi passed a law that gave the state robust new powers to take over districts that were rated as failing for 2 consecutive years. So again, Mississippi went further than reinstituting phonics, which some schools are doing again, or instituting retention rules, which we just saw Missouri is doing. But they actually gave the state powers to take over failing districts for 2 years. The law allowed the state to abolish these districts' local school board and remove the local superintendent in favor of a state appointee who would report directly to the State Board of Education. A later amendment then removed local school board members, and they would be barred from serving in that capacity again. So that's pretty extreme. That's an extreme move. Of course, we see what's going on with the mess with the St. Louis City Schools and the superintendent and how they were stepping down, and then a new superintendent was put in place. And I guess Mississippi said this is not going to happen. Schools also got letter grades, because what they noticed is that you can't just say, hey, you can hold third graders back. You also have to hold the Board of Education, the State Board of Education, accountable. So they held parents and the community accountable for the students individually, that they'll be held back if they can't hit the grading scores. They held schools accountable, but they also held the Board of Education accountable, saying, you've got to help the schools do this. And the reason why this Atlantic piece is so important is because she said it was pretty revolutionary what Mississippi did. It was pretty extreme, because even up until 2012, the details of how education law or policy would be implemented in Missouri was mostly left to individual school districts. And they said the state department, education department, they just said, oh, we'll focus on class size, air conditioners, and so forth. But they said, no, you have to set the standards and make all the individual districts apply, and you have to help them do that. And the reason why they bring up how complicated it is because Georgia, California, even we see Missouri are saying, hey, our kids can't read, and Mississippi somehow made it work. We're going to implement this policy, but they're only picking pieces of it. And she's afraid that if you just say, we're going to hold kids back in third grade, but you don't equip the schools with a standardized level that they have to hit and help them implement that policy, each school is going to try to do it differently. You're just going to hold kids back. and nothing's going to move forward, and people are going to say, well, the Mississippi Miracle was a failure. It didn't work in my state. She said, no, it's because you didn't do it right. She's basically talking about how comprehensive it is.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, because I don't know, I'm not an expert in this field. I don't have the required training it takes to be a teacher, but I'm a little skeptical about a state that, even if it took a few years' time to go from 50th to 1st. So, I mean, I hope they're not cooking books in some way or another, or only testing students they know are going to pass, because there does need to be some sort of standardized tests to examine what the literacy capabilities are, right? I mean, you can't know how literate your kids are unless you're testing them to find out. So we would have to know that they are not cooking the books in some way. Maybe they're not. Maybe this is all above board. They're doing everything the right way, and they have really created this miracle that has happened where they've gone from dead last to number 1 in the country. But I have a little, my skeptical brain here says, that's a hell of a leap to make.
And I 100% believe it, because, again, going back to, if you really look into it, the standardized tests that they're taking, the level that they are demanding of their students is not going to lower the standard if you're lower income. It's not going to lower the standard for whatever reasons. It's basically said, here's the standard you need to be able to read by 3rd grade. We're not adjusting it, but we're going to help you get there. And again, the problem before is that they were lowering the standards. Other school districts where kids are getting A's are suffering from grade inflation, because you are making it easier and easier to get an A. That, to me, is more cooking the books than holding one standard. And she gives the example that Georgia adopted 2 big reading bills in 2023 that tried to copy some of Mississippi's strategies, but it failed almost immediately because the state did not carefully select the tests that screen children for reading skills and difficulties. And so it was almost haphazard, and there were different standards. And she's saying, no, you have to keep it consistent, and it really takes a top-to-bottom overhaul. And I don't know that there's an appetite to do that in most states. The only reason Mississippi had it is because they were the worst. They were the butt of jokes, and they were the worst forever. But again, the biggest thing is holding the standards high, but also, and I should have brought this up at the beginning, they reintroduced phonics. And that is something California has tried to do after hearing about the Mississippi Miracle, because it was a disaster across the board, as this piece notes with all the data, that removing phonics from schools was a disaster. And so simply implementing phonics will be the first step in moving kids forward to literacy.
We'll see what happens here. And I don't know that, I still do have the healthy skepticism about it, because that is a major correction. And I don't know. I mean, I've seen some objection to it, that really Mississippi is not actually on the ground doing a whole lot different than what a lot of other schools are doing. So I don't know. It's tough you can't be in those schools and know for sure what's happening in the classroom every single day, or how their testing is done. You don't know all that stuff. What I do know is that 50th in the country is really bad, and you should. I appreciate that they are making efforts to get better in that area.
And I think maybe we can talk to someone about this bill to see how comprehensive it is, because, as we mentioned, this was bipartisan support in Jefferson City, and you don't see that a lot. But it was almost all Democrats and all Republicans voted for this, that you have automatic 3rd grade retention if you cannot reach that standard. So that would be great. Let's talk to someone about that, see what it looks like, see where they are similar to or different from Mississippi.
We are rolling until we get to the Gas House Gang at 12 o'clock. We'll talk a lot of Cardinals baseball. Bernie Miklasz and me. We will have Mike Farron from MLB Network Radio talking Major League Baseball today. We are happy that you are with us on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday here in St. Louis. And since there is a lot of playoff action that is happening right now in the NBA, this is a great time to get in on that action with FanDuel. So right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if that first bet wins. That's right. You can turn $5 into $150 in bonus bets just for getting started. If you haven't done it already, FanDuel.com/Missouri. FanDuel does make it easy to get closer to the action. They've got player props that you can get in on, and you can follow your favorite stars and all the tools you need to back up your bets right there for you on the FanDuel app. All in one app. Everything you need. Don't miss your shot. FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started now. FanDuel is an official partner of the NBA. Play your game with FanDuel. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Each year in St. Louis, 10 women are recognized for volunteer leadership that changes lives. They support families, strengthen communities, and create opportunities where they're needed most. Join us Tuesday, May 19th at the Ritz-Carlton for the 2026 Women of Achievement Awards Luncheon. Celebrate their impact and be part of a tradition more than 70 years strong. Reservations available at WOASTL.org. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us, and we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app.
What's today? It's Thursday. Really? Feels like Tuesday.
It doesn't feel like Tuesday to me. It actually kind of feels like a Friday, if we're being honest.
It does feel a bit like a Friday.
And especially for me, because I won't be here tomorrow.
That's right.
Who has a wedding on a Friday? Yeah, I want to save money. Okay.
Do you save money on Fridays?
That's what they say.
Really? I feel like Friday and Saturday would be the primo day. Saturday
Saturday
probably
for
the
sure,
big one.
because Friday during the day people have to take off work. You don't take off work on Saturday.
The wedding is Friday during the day?
It is Friday during the day.
Okay, well, I could see that.
Buddy.
I thought it was Friday night.
No. It's a daytime wedding on a Friday.
On a Friday. In some ways, though, it does get you off work, and then you still have the weekend.
And on top of it,
yes,
you got us doing all kinds of crap.
Weddings are so expensive and time intensive.
It's not my wedding. Why do I have to spend 9 hours with you?
I don't know if you... Is this a second wedding for you? Not you, but for this person? Yeah.
No.
Okay. Because I know, like, you're at the age where it's second and third weddings, probably.
Well, not everybody gets married at 24. I know it's St. Louis, but not everybody does.
But I will say the younger people in my life, I am so glad to be older, if for no other reason than, oh my gosh, the money that is spent on elaborate bachelorette parties. Oh, we're flying to Nashville. We're going to Nashville for 5 days.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're going to St. Thomas for a bachelorette party. And then the weddings themselves. Oh, okay. Sorry. Backing up to the bachelorette parties. Guess what else? You have to buy matching themed outfits for each day of the party.
I know.
And then what if it's a destination wedding? I had one of my running buddies had to fly to a destination wedding in Mexico. You're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on this person. That's not going to work for me.
Yeah, I don't. It's not going to work for me either, and I'm not going to do it.
Now, I did have a friend to save money got married on a Tuesday.
Yep.
Would you do that?
Wait, hold on. You're joking.
No.
A Tuesday?
Yeah. Because it's a more affordable. Oh, Mr.
Yeah,
Moneybags over here.
It's probably free.
Yeah.
On a Tuesday?
Uh-huh.
I've never heard of a Tuesday wedding.
Yeah, I know. Neither had I.
I've heard of a Sunday wedding, which is crazy.
Oh, that sounds exhausting.
Fridays suck. I've never heard of any other day but those three.
I think Tuesday's great.
What are you talking about, a Tuesday wedding? What?
Yeah.
Explain this to me. What was the premise?
That it was cheaper, and they said Tuesdays are lucky, I guess.
Who are these people?
It's a friend.
Oh, my God. So was it at night?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I'm not doing that at all.
I didn't go. I didn't know this person then.
No.
It's saving money.
I think Friday weddings are an absolute.
I think you should get married on a Monday.
I agree with you.
Because then you have a 3-day weekend.
Make everybody take off.
And you have a 3-day weekend.
Well, I have a 3-day weekend here, but I had to take a vacation day for this.
I don't like
Are
taking
these people
off Fridays.
worth it? I don't know that these people are worth it.
Is this the person that had all the rules for the Super Bowl party?
The rules for the Super Bowl.
Didn't you go to a Super Bowl party where there were were going to play games and there were a lot of rules?
Yes, but there were very few games.
But this
and there
is
were
the
no
same
rules.
couple.
It might be.
Okay, this seems like kind of a lot. This couple.
I mean, are you
kidding me? They made you play games on the Super Bowl, and then now they're making you take off work to go to their Friday wedding?
The game was an unobtrusive game. It was like unintrusive. It was like not very. It was fine. You could still watch the game and kind of play along, and you had these cards, and if a thing happened, then you had to, I don't know,
but they
take a
sent
drink
you
or something.
The rules days before the Super Bowl.
We did.
That's how I absolutely knew that this would be the couple that would get married on a Friday afternoon.
This texter says, just don't have friends. Keep acquaintances. I agree. Acquaintances are pretty great.
Yeah.
Because you can hang out with them when you want to. They don't get mad when you don't call them back. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. I love acquaintances. I have so many acquaintances.
314 says, how about Wednesdays at the county courthouse? That's when they do their courthouse weddings. I love a courthouse wedding. It reminds me of Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert from It Happened One Night, 1939. Get with the program.
Dude, is there anything older you want to reference?
No, I don't know.
How many people do you think knew what the hell you were talking about just now?
On KMOX, a lot.
I bet not.
I bet so.
I bet it's a much smaller percentage than you think.
314-436-7900. But yes, I do love a courthouse wedding. I think that's romantic.
Texter, not a texter, but a viewer on Facebook, John, is watching and says, all this time and experience for a marriage that will last for the next 7 to 10 years. Is that the average?
I don't know. Probably for you, your friends.
I have a lot of friends who have been married for a long time. and friends who are just getting married, and friends who've had. I have all kinds of friends and acquaintances.
Showing off. Acquaintances are better because there's no obligation with an acquaintance.
This texter says, why don't you just have it Wednesdays at the county courthouse?
That's what I just said.
Oh,
That's
you did
why
say
I
that
brought
one?
up, Claudette Colbert. The county courthouse.
I do think that this will be a fun time. I can't wait to celebrate my good friends get married
You're gonna
tomorrow.
have fun. I hope they play games at the reception.
I'm not playing any games. I'll tell you that right now. Hour 3 of the show is coming up. We're going to talk to tech reporter for CNN Business, Claire Duffy, because artificial intelligence is a concern for a lot of people, and it's exciting for others. But what about for kids and safety? Who is testing artificial intelligence for that very thing? We'll talk to Claire when we come back on KMOX.
NeoVitan began with one doctor's mission to help others feel their best. After years of caring for patients, Dr. Ken Ribicki, a St. Louis physician, created NeoVitan, a line of multivitamins designed with quality, safety, and everyday wellness in mind. Each formula is made in the U.S. using the finest domestic and international ingredients to support real people living real lives. Discover the difference today with NeoVitan, available at Schnucks, Dierbergs, and neovitan.com. NeoVitan, trusted nutrition from St. Louis for St. Louis.
Mizzou football will be here before you know it. Join us for the 100th anniversary of Memorial Stadium with season tickets. Join the season ticket waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist and get ready to lock in tickets for 2026. The home schedule is highlighted by games against Florida, Texas A&M, Texas, Kentucky, and Oklahoma. Don't wait to reserve your spot. Join the waitlist at mutigers.com/FB waitlist. MIZ.
Looking for a great real estate agent? Someone who can help you sell your home fast and for top dollar? Go to ready.com, REDY.com. Because on Ready, agents will pay you just for the opportunity to sell your home. Yeah, on Ready, agents will pay you for your listing. Thousands of dollars up front just for a chance to sell your home. And it's easy. Just go to ready.com, enter your address, and when you want to sell. In just 48 hours, the best local agents are competing on Ready to be your agent with cash offers up front just to win your business. Hey, your listing is valuable. Don't give it away. Make those agents earn it. Get paid to pick your real estate agent. Go to ready.com or call 888-525-REDY. 888-525-READY.
Spring is here. Hi, this is Tim Gamma.
And I'm Tom Gamma.
When it comes to tree care, call the name you can trust. Gamma Tree Experts, founded by our dad, Frank Gamma, in 1954.
Frank will be 91 this year, and the third generation of Gammas have joined the business.
Call our team of certified arborists to inspect your trees and shrubs today. Knowledge and quality are hallmarks of our reputation. Now in our 72nd year.
For pruning, fertilization, and removal, call Gamma Tree Experts today or visit us at gammatree.com.
Your trees deserve the best care.
1 in 4 people surveyed by Bankrate.com say they're literally losing sleep because of worries that they may have not saved enough to retire. If you're ready to get serious about planning for your financial future, you could start by listening to the All Financial Hour with host Steve All of the All Financial Group.
What are your wishes, hopes, and dreams? What's retirement look like for you? Because everybody, that picture is different. If you want assistance, we can also help you at that point.
Saturday mornings at 10 or Sunday evenings at 6, right here on KMOX.
The trusted voice of St. Louis. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is 11 o'clock. It is sunny and 59 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Today is Give STL Day, the 12th annual, to help thousands of nonprofits. It runs through 10 a.m. tomorrow. Currently, the online donation page shows just shy of $1.4 million so far since raised since the site went live at midnight. It's givestlday.org. New technology could help cut the energy needed for controversial massive data centers.
Mechanical engineers have designed a more effective and energy-efficient technology for cooling increasingly high-powered computer chips that could help reduce the massive amounts of electricity used by expanding, sprawling data centers.
What we've done is important in enabling this to happen and developing designs that are able to minimize energy consumption and maximize performance of these chips.
Nenad Milkovich was part of the computer chip cooling research. He's a professor of mechanical science and engineering at the University of Illinois in Champaign-Urbana. Jim Krasula, CBS News.
Following a flurry of constituent complaints about trash pickup, St. Louis County Council members are organizing a committee hearing to investigate delays. Councilman Mark Harder says the public's anger seems to point toward a specific contractor, and he wants that company in the hot seat.
My office is getting calls. It seems to be focused around Waste Connections is the supplier or the vendor, and I think we probably need to have them appear before us as well when we do decide to have that committee meeting.
The council is working to schedule that hearing, with multiple members noting the problem is impacting neighborhoods across the county. KMOX has reached out to Waste Connections as well. Expect to pay more to park at the airport starting July 1st at 5 lots and 2 parking garages at Lambert, along with turning Lot E near Terminal 2 into a reservation lot. Airport Director Rhonda Homnebrugge says reserved parking is something travelers have been requesting for a long time, and it could be done coming soon on an app. Despite the price hike, an airport spokesman says Lambert's parking fees are still among the nation's least expensive. From the KMOX business desk, it's a brand new book club concept for the St. Louis County Library, one for younger kids ages 3 to 9.
We have story time, but this is more of like a kind of a traditional book club where there's a different book every month and we move it around to different branches, and also it's in the evening.
That's Kristen Sorth, director of the county library. She tells Total Information AM you need to register for the Youth Book Club online. The first date is May 14th at the Grants View branch. That's the one near Grants Farm.
This afternoon, sunshine mixed with a few clouds, breezy and a bit warmer than yesterday, the high 69. Tonight will turn out mainly clear, though 52. Some sun followed by increasing clouds tomorrow, breezy and a little warmer with a shower or two in the afternoon, maybe a thunderstorm, high 74. Even warmer Saturday with more sunshine, the high 80. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now it's sunny and 59 degrees in downtown St. Louis. The weather is sponsored for you by Artistic Decks. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Summer's here. Is your backyard ready? If you missed the spring rush, Artistic Decks can still make it happen. From premium wood to maintenance-free composite, get the quality you deserve. Don't wait. Call Artistic Decks today at 314-280-0821.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
One of the biggest concerns with AI and social media is its effect on kids, how kids will be interacting with AI. And I know every parent out there feels overwhelmed by what their kids have access to. Well, a new group is hoping to help protect kids with the advent of AI. And to give us more information on what Common Sense Media is doing to help protect kids in the face of AI is Claire Duffy, the tech reporter for CNN Business. Claire, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So at the beginning of your story on CNN.com, you talk about vehicle crash testing, how that began in the 1990s, and automakers were incentivized by the results of vehicle crash testing to make safety changes that have saved thousands of lives each year. And you say that a new group is hoping to use a similar approach with AI. What is AI crash testing?
That is really the idea behind this new organization, the Youth Safety AI Institute. They're hoping to take that model from independent vehicle crash testing, where you had third-party independent testing, you had transparent results and comparisons of different companies put out by that third party. And then the vehicle makers were incentivized to try to improve their standings in those ratings. And so they made safety changes that ultimately have saved thousands of lives every year. And so this group is hoping to do the same thing with artificial intelligence, and in particular to keep kids and young people safer. So the plan here is they are going to red team or stress test popular AI products, everything from the big foundation models to companion chatbots and educational tools. They will be putting out consumer-friendly guides for parents and educators, so families have a better idea of what is safe for kids. And then they also ultimately want to create standards that they're hoping the big tech companies will incorporate into their development in order to keep young people safer.
So how long have they been doing this?
Well, so this launched this week, but they are planning to start putting out reports and research within the next month and throughout the rest of this year. The challenge here really is that a lot of the big tech companies are doing their own safety research, safety testing, but there is no one independent standard for what a safe AI product looks like for young people. So the hope here is that by having an independent group doing this work, they can create more consistency across the industry that will push everybody. The CEO of Common Sense Media described it to me as a race to the top, trying to push everybody to make safety changes to make their AI platform safer for young people.
Yeah, as your story notes, some of the concerns, for instance, would be chatbots, where parents have sued AI companies because they said that chatbots, encouraged their kids to kill themselves, to commit suicide, or that the chatbots became very sexually explicit. Can you give us some of the examples like that this organization will be testing?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. I think parents are in such a tough spot here because AI is being incorporated very quickly into social media platforms that their kids may already be using. A lot of parents are hearing that these tools are really powerful for education and learning, and so they want to be open to this. But as we've seen, there are lawsuits, as you said, that have been filed against, for example, OpenAI, where a mom thought her son was using it for educational purposes, but it turns out the family is alleging that ChatGPT encouraged her son to commit suicide. So that is the concern here. So that is they're planning on testing all of these products, everything from ChatGPT, the mainstream chatbots, to products that are targeted more directly at kids, whether that is for companionship or learning. They're planning to work with schools and families to really understand what kids are using and what needs to be tested here.
Claire Duffy, tech reporter for CNN Business, with us on KMOX. And my impression of the AI industry and the companies who are at the forefront of this, when safety concerns come up, whether it's stuff like this or anything else, and maybe I'm wrong and you can correct me, but it seems like the response usually is, hey, just trust us. We've got it. We're going to make sure people are safe. Is there reason to trust them, though?
Well, I mean, I think there is a real concern just given the fact that there is a race in this industry to make your model the most powerful, the most widely used. These companies are moving very quickly to accelerate their capabilities of their models. But what potentially could be lost in that process is the intentionality and the moving slowly and the safety testing that needs to happen, especially to make sure that these products are safe for kids. And so I think that is where this independent group is hoping that by coming in and doing their own testing and putting pressure on these companies, that they can get them to make some of these safety changes. In many ways, this group is hoping to sort of correct some of the problems that we saw in the social media era, where we just didn't move quickly enough to recognize and acknowledge the safety challenges for young people. And it took years of whistleblowers and researchers and now lawsuits that are bringing forth what the companies have known about the risks to their products before we really understood the problem. And I think this group is hoping that they're going to get out ahead of the potential risks here with the AI industry and be able to shape these AI products more around what young people need. And they have this pretty incredible group of advisors that they have brought in for this Youth AI Safety Institute. Everybody from Apple's former AI chief, John Giannandrea, to Mehan Saharami, the chair of Stanford Engineering's computer science department. You've got Dr. Nadine Burke Harris, who served as California's first Surgeon General. And so they've got this group of people who are familiar with tech development, with youth mental health, with well-being, to bring their expertise to bear on this effort.
What falls under the umbrella of AI technology? Because we see AI on Instagram, and TikTok, but do Instagram and TikTok, are they being evaluated in this crash test?
It's such a good question because we are seeing AI pop up everywhere, and I think that's why this effort is so urgently needed. We don't yet know exactly what they're looking at here, but I think the big focus is going to be on these most widely used products. So you can certainly imagine that Meta AI, which is showing up on all of Meta's platforms like Instagram and Facebook, Snapchat AI, which is really popular among young people. You have to imagine that those are going to be part of this effort.
So it's not just we're testing Claude and ChatGPT. It's really any avenue through which AI could immediately interact with kids.
I think that's exactly right. And again, they plan to talk with families and with educators to get a sense of what the most urgent need is here. What are kids using every day that they need to look closely at here?
Claire Duffy with CNN Business with us on KMOX. And there was recently an attempted attack on Sam Altman, who is a prominent figure in artificial intelligence right now, happens to be from this area, from the St. Louis area. And there is a huge anti-AI sentiment out there. Not everybody. A lot of people are really excited about what artificial intelligence could ultimately do. But there's also so much concern about what it will do on the negative end, like take jobs and interfere with the environment and all kinds of different concerns. But what does this say about the anti-artificial intelligence movement, what happened with Altman?
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because in many ways, the concerns that we've been hearing around AI, about the environmental concerns, the job concerns, certainly, many of those have come directly from tech leaders like Sam Altman himself, who have been sort of raising the alarm at the same time that they're saying their companies are working on addressing those big concerns. But I think it has created this real PR crisis for the AI industry, where you have a lot of people who are very concerned about what this is going to mean for their everyday lives, for our society over the next 5 to 10 years. And so what we're seeing with, this attack on Sam Altman's home, it was interesting. I was looking at the online reaction to this, and you have some corners of the internet where people were cheering this attack, saying that this attacker was a hero, comparing him to Luigi Mangione, who of course was accused of shooting and killing the United Healthcare CEO, and essentially saying this attack was justified. And I think what you see there is this fringe wing of the anti-AI movement that is moving from scary, anonymous online comments to very real in-person attacks. And of course, most of the AI opposition movement that is mainstream has disavowed this, have said they do not want this to turn into a violent movement. But I do think we could start to see the conversation change in terms of how the AI companies are trying to address these concerns, knowing that there is a very scary, real potential for in-person violence here.
Moving away from the violence, but just back to these leaders in tech and in the AI industry, they say, yeah, we're very concerned about the possibilities, and yet all of them keep pushing forward, even as we know guys like, Steve Jobs didn't let their kids have screens, right? So there's part of it that feels very, very empty to me, that you have Mark Zuckerberg and Sam Altman maybe trying to give themselves psychological permission or justification by saying, oh, yeah, we're concerned, we need regulations, but in the meantime, we're going to barrel forward. Do you feel that they themselves are not doing anything to endear themselves to the American public or make the public feel like they can be trusted?
Yeah, I think they've put themselves in a really tricky position here. I mean, I think, of course, we should say, no violence is acceptable.
Yeah,
but I think
moving
it
from the
is
violence,
reasonable for for people to feel frustrated that on one hand you're saying, look, there are these, potentially existential risks from this technology, and yet these companies feel like they have to be the one to get ahead. And so, as you said, Amy, they are moving so quickly to advance this technology. And, I think there is this question of who is responsible for creating the solutions here to these problems that they're talking about. Many of them say they are raising the alarm here because they want regulators or legislators to come up with a solution. But I think it's reasonable for people to look back at those companies and say, no, it should be you. You're creating the problem. You should also be part of the solution here.
What about data centers? Because they're very closely tied into this whole thing, because AI doesn't work without them. A lot of our technology doesn't without them. But there is speaking of anti, feelings about it, like there's a heavy sentiment against data centers. We are seeing it here in multiple different places around St. Louis. We're seeing it all over the country. And just in Utah, there was that massive Kevin O'Leary facility that was just approved, and people there were pretty upset about it. Do you think that this pushback against the data centers makes sense, or are we kind of getting in our own way of progress?
I mean, I think there could be a little bit of both there. I think that it certainly is reflective of this larger concern around artificial intelligence and this feeling like you have this huge change coming for society that not everybody voted for or opted into, that is just sort of being thrust upon us. And data centers are a very sort of physical, visual realization of that. You have these massive, essentially warehouses full of computers that are coming to communities. In many of these places, we've seen people's electricity bills go up because those data centers are putting a strain on the grid. They're also, these huge facilities that are loud, and many people don't want them in their communities. And we should say, just 3 days before that attack on Sam Altman's home, there was an Indianapolis council member whose home, shots were fired into his home after a data center was approved in his district. So there definitely is this backlash against these AI data centers. And I think we're going to have to find some sort of like middle ground here where people see the real benefits from artificial intelligence and feel like the companies are being responsible stewards of this very important technology. It is going to be really interesting to watch how this plays out and whether the companies can address this backlash that we're seeing to this technology.
We appreciate your reporting, Claire Duffy. Thank you for being with us today, and we look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tech reporter for CNN Business, Claire Duffy, with us here. I think now is a friend of the show, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
I mean, you come on a couple times, you're a friend of the show. You're in the system, and you can't get rid of us.
Well, and we're going to continue to have a lot of questions about AI and tech, so
That's
we'll need
right.
to talk to her in the future.
Especially with these data centers, and everybody's mad about them.
everybody.
Chris and Amy on KMOX, the Gas House Gang, here at noon.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA-certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
What if your bathroom felt less like a routine and more like a daily escape? Glover here for my friends at Michael's Baths. They can transform ordinary bathrooms into beautiful, comfortable spaces for homeowners across St. Louis and all the surrounding areas. And now they're introducing new premium walls, perfect for those who love the look of stone without the upkeep. It's sleek, durable, and designed to elevate your space. For a limited time, enjoy a free rain shower head or upgrade with safety features like grab bars or a built-in seat. Call us at 636-775-0800 or michaelsbaths.com.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than two?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
I'm Dave Glover, and I see clearly now thanks to the doctors, Dr. Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andy Royer. You can too. Just go to youridoc.com. Hey guys, Glover here with my friend Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage Corporation. Stewie, I think this is going to be a strange season for real estate. Just kind of feel it in my gut. What can people do apropos of their mortgage to put themselves in a better position to get that house?
You know what, Dave, that's a great question. There's a bidding wars that are going to happen this spring. You want to get the house. This is how you're going to make things better. Number one, we give you the power of the pre-approval letter. That means you can go into our portal and generate the letter and edit it for any amount you want up to the amount you're approved without chasing the loan officer. Number two, the bagel loan. No closing costs, no title fees, no lender fees, no appraisal fees. It's a bagel. Bagel looks like a zero, easy to remember. Add that money you would normally pay onto your bid and beat the other offers out. And you know what? The third thing is we can close fast. 10 days. They're going to look away at the other offers because most lenders take as much as 30 days to get done.
You can call or text Stewie at his personal cell phone, 314-324-4440, or you can Google the bagel loan in MLS 226715.
100 years, one legendary voice. Relive KMOX's century of service, classic audio, photos, videos, and more at KMOX100.com.
Hip, hip. Chris and Amy on KMOX. And are we number two, just like you, Amy? Remember how you were number two in the race?
I was number two.
Turns out...
Because I lost.
You did. You lost. Turns out that
Yes.
a St. Louis staple is number two in the entire world.
Okay. A St. Louis staple.
I'm
Hold on,
sorry.
let me think of the staples that we have here.
Well, it's actually America, but, you know, we're
What's
the
the
center of the
difference?
world,
Yeah.
obviously. So what's the difference is exactly right. What do you think is the number two of its kind in the entire country? And it's from St. Louis.
And
It
it's
is a
not
staple.
bad. It's not like murder
No,
or
it's
STDs.
not murder, and it's not STDs.
So it's good.
It's good.
What do we do here that's
love it.
good? Toasted raviolis. Well,
Well, then we're number one for that.
that's right. Beer.
Well, it is a beer, but it's
Okay.
a particular kind of beer. So how about this?
Bud Light.
Yes, Food and Wine, you know, the publication Food and Wine.
Mhm.
Well, they tested some of the top-selling light beers in the country, sight unseen. So a little taste test. Bud
A blind
Light,
taste test?
a blind
like
taste
the old
test,
Pepsi and Coke days.
which I loved. I remember the those. Did you ever do that? Or you weren't around, probably.
I didn't do the test myself.
Oh, I
but
did.
I mean,
I remember them happening at I don't.
Really?
Yes, like actual taste tests because they had, you know, if you were like at a festival or
Yeah.
something, they'd have a taste test. And I remember which one's Coke, which one's Pepsi. I remember having to do that. Which one do you like better? And the whole point was to tell you that you actually like Pepsi better than Coke.
Right.
That's what they were trying to tell you. Anyway,
I do like Pepsi.
the best, according to Food and Wine, the best or the second best light beer in the country is Bud Light. And that is according to
It's the
testing.
Best. What's the first best?
Well, the first best is Miller Lite.
I don't believe that.
Have you ever had Miller Lite?
No.
I don't mind it. I don't mind Miller Lite. It's got I feel like it's got an earthier taste to it, but it is very, very different, and you can totally taste the difference between the two. But here's what they say about Bud Light. This is Food and Wine. The longtime champion of light beer, Bud Light, came second in our ranked tasting, debuting nationally in 1982 and overtaking Miller Lite in sales in the mid-90s. Bud Light claims to have approximately 24 to 25% fewer calories than classic Budweiser. The brand emphasizes a simple 4-ingredient recipe. Love it or hate it, there's no arguing Bud Light helped bring light beer to the center of the mainstream, and its decades-long dominance shows that average consumers are happy to enjoy it by the caseload. You got that right. By the caseload.
But, okay, Miller Lite number 2. I don't know that my favorite light beer is on here.
Well, hold on. Let me go on and give you the notes.
Okay.
Did you know there are notes? Because I didn't. It says several of our tasters, like Associate General Manager Sean Flynn, logged subtle.
Sean. Okay.
Sean, you know Sean?
Yeah.
Logged subtle citrus notes.
I'll believe it.
I didn't know anything about that.
Yeah, you did. That's why Bud Light Lime is so good.
But
because it leans into the citrus.
It's all citrus. But the overwhelming response centered on its own clean finish and sheer drinkability. Associate Editor-Director Ashley Day called it smooth and inoffensive.
Inoffensive.
It used to be offensive to some people.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Some people get offended about anything, won't they?
Yeah.
You know what my favorite light beer is? Corona Light. Isn't that weird?
That's good.
Kinda. I like Corona
It's
Light.
really good.
I like
it's
Corona
kind of
Light.
my favorite light beer on a hot summer day. You're done with work. You're done running or working out. You sit out on the deck, barbecue. Corona Light is what I like.
So about Miller Lite, they say it's almost got something like citrus notes, which is nice.
Almost.
Almost so
they literally said it's almost got something like citrus notes.
That's what
that
they
was
said.
their assessment.
That's what editor Amelia Schwartz said.
I don't think these people are real beer tasters. I think they're just a bunch of people.
Well, how do you know? Because social media editor Bianca Trinidad said it's refreshing, crisp, and fruitier. That's Miller Lite.
Like it's a wine tasting, you know.
I know.
I'm reading the article too. It says the reviewers sipped and evaluated the beers based on their aroma, flavor, and body. Have you ever drank a beer and thought about the body or the aroma?
No, man.
Beer? Especially a Bud Light.
Especially if it's coming out of a can. I've never thought about
Hints
it.
of aluminum.
I think about my body and how it's not feeling great, but I don't think about the body of the beer, of the Bud Light I'm drinking at a baseball game.
I don't like blind taste tests because so much goes into the consuming experience, eating and drinking. I did a coffee test, like a blind coffee test, and you always all they do, those tests exist to make you feel stupid.
Yeah.
Because you can say what coffee you like and you drink it all the time, and then they do a blind taste test. And aha, we got you. Your least favorite is the one that you said that you liked and that you drink every day. And actually, your favorite is this one. And it's like they're always trying to prove you wrong. That's how I feel in blind taste tests. And again, I did it with coffee, and it took some of the enjoyment out of it because I felt like I was going to get it wrong. It felt like the ACT, to be honest, because the guy even told me to relax. He said it's not a real test. But I couldn't tell if I liked the coffee or not.
Can't I just like what I already like? Do I have to be
Right.
proven wrong?
And I was like, well, this one, he's like, what do you think? Is it? I go, I think it's floral or citrusy. Wrong. That one's chocolate and caramel.
I could never do.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. And then you just feel silly.
The whole notes thing. I can't do notes.
Well, it's
you
like-
know, and that goes with wine.
Mm-hmm.
It goes with fragrances. It goes with beer. Like I can't tell you,
Bourbon?
oh, this is citrusy unless it's got actual. Yes, same thing. Bourbon, whiskey, none of that. I can't give you notes.
I've gotten better with coffee because I can tell, and this is the most basic, I really can tell the citrusy, floral, light coffee versus like a dark, bitter, chocolatey, caramely coffee. Those do have different tastes. But then that's just which general direction does it lean. If I have to really pin down the notes, I mean, I was wrong on all of them. And then you feel stupid.
Yeah.
And you feel like you don't even know what you like anymore.
So the full list of light beers they tested, it was the top 6 selling beers in the country, the top 6 American beers. Full list here, even though Miller Lite came in number 1, you'll be happy to know that 4 of the 6 are Anheuser-Busch products from right here in St. Louis. So it was Miller Lite, followed by Bud Light, Coors Light, which I do like, and this surprises me. Natural Light came in 4th.
So
Natty Light, then Busch Light, and then followed up by Michelob Ultra. So those were your top 6, according to taste.
I can tell you this. I am not good necessarily, right, with picking out the best beers, but I don't like PBR.
PBR's got a
offensive taste.
It's not offensive, but it's a little fuller.
Isn't there a Colt beer? There's Colt and PBR, right?
Colt 45. Yeah,
Colt 45. So we went to a Christmas party and it was a bunch of hipsters, so they only had Colt 45 and PBR. Did not like either. I can tell you that.
You know what gets a bad rap? Stag beer.
They had Stag.
Yeah,
yes,
of course.
they did have Stag.
It's
I
so
forgot about
cheap.
Stag.
I like Stag.
It's
yes.
good.
I don't think I do.
You know what else I like? High Life.
Oh, those are like the best. Miller High Life.
Miller High Life's
the
great.
champagne of beers.
I love.
Wait,
there
what's
is
a Miller High Life?
It's like
you
the
don't
nice-
know what a High Life is?
I know what it is, but why is it so different than like Miller Lite?
Oh, it's
high.
It's
what makes it a high?
It's
Is it
got
heavy?
a little. No,
it's light.
No, it's a lighter beer.
It's more golden, kind of like I don't know, like a golden light.
Have you heard of Golden Bush? It's really hard to find.
No,
but they did have like the Bush Golden.
I don't know about that one, but they do have the Michelob Golden.
Golden Light, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Anyway, way to go, Anheuser-Busch. 4 of 6. 4 of 6 of the top beers, according to Food and Wine. Although I would take exception with Miller Lite being number 1. I don't know
buy
about
that. That seems rigged.
There's a bar that I know of that has Miller High Life.
Yeah.
It's all they have.
Oh,
they have a cooler behind the bar, and it's not in town, but it's in the entire, it's like 7 different shelves, and it's just Miller High Life. It's one of those, you know what that is? It's called a hipster bar.
I know, that's why I said the party I went to
It's
is
a
just
hipster. High Life is a hipster beer.
so a Stag and PBR and Colt.
That's true. Amy Marks Coors, Chris Ranji. We are going until 12 o'clock. Then it is the Gas House Gang on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Some shows are about sports. Some shows are about nothing. This one's kind of both.
So the show's not really a sports show per se. It's just a show. Glover here, we talk about whatever is happening, life, work, random stuff. And yeah, the Cardinals always find their way in. I'm a lifelong fan. Love going to the games, love supporting the team, and love hanging out with you guys.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
Spring cleaning rule number 1, out with the old, in with the new. And frankly, your family's old internet connection is a dinosaur. Upgrade to the 1 gig modern family standard from i3 Broadband. It's 100% true in-home fiber with equal upload and download speeds, so your teenager's gaming won't crash your video call. Even better, we're currently offering our longest price guarantees ever on our gig speed internet services. Say goodbye to exploding promo prices and hello to budget certainty. Visit i3broadband.com/radio and start your spring off right.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
61 degrees and sunny. A high today of 69. Tonight, clear with a low of 50.
Weather sponsored by Renner Garage Door, forward and back, RENNER.
Giddy up! Cardinal Cowboy for Team Renner here, America's oldest family-owned garage door company, serving both wholesale and retail markets. Free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door.
RENNER. Why would life-saving care require a membership? In a real emergency, are you reaching for your wallet or your phone to call 911? And what if the member helicopter isn't the closest one? What if they don't carry blood on board? What if those differences matter? They do. Arch Air Medical Service is proud to serve Effingham and surrounding communities with life-saving air medical care. Our highly trained crews deliver advanced medicine in the air because when seconds count, capability matters more than a card in your wallet. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. Worried about cost? Here's the truth. The No Surprises Act protects patients with private insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You'll only pay your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. If you have Medicare or Medicaid, similar protections apply. Providers cannot bill beyond those limits. That means no air medical membership is needed. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. Like that morning status meeting, always better with bagels. And don't forget the coffee. Ops team working late? How about some Power Bowls to keep them going strong? Sandy's celebrating 10 years at the company. This calls for cupcakes. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Chris and Amy on KMOX. Did you know you can text us and call us at 314-436-7900 or leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app, or if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, you can find the KMOX news page, and we stream live on Twitter every day and on YouTube. And Ron is watching us on YouTube, in fact, and he says, my favorite beer is Urban Chestnuts Schnickelfritz, which I also like. That's really good beer.
I like the Schnickelfritz.
Notes of banana and good aftertaste. Where's this banana coming from? What are you talking about, banana? Is there really a banana?
Banana?
There's banana in Schnickelfritz?
And a little tomato?
Tomato? What are you talking about?
I think Schnickelfritz has a bit of a banana hint. It tastes like it was maybe brewed next to a tomato bush.
Are you just saying things?
Yes.
Or okay. Yeah. I'll go.
No, I don't know that I've ever tasted banana in any beer, to be honest. Banana is a unique flavor. Whenever you get a banana flavored anything, as one person once pointed out, that it's like whoever invented banana flavor said, "How about this?" and everyone just agreed close enough.
I'm going to take exception with that because I think a lot of banana flavored stuff tastes like banana, and I love bananas.
Do you?
Oh, I love them.
You never eat bananas. You're always eating apples.
Well, I crush them on the way here. I have a banana on the way to work every day.
Are bananas constipating? I heard they were.
I've never heard that before. What are you talking about? I've never heard that. But according to artificial intelligence, which we know is correct, usually, Urban Chestnut Schnickelfritz has notes such as clove, nutmeg, banana, and citrus. So I guess Ron is not full of crap.
Schnickelfritz has banana.
I don't know where it's a wheat beer. Wheat. And they have banana, nutmeg, and clove. I like all those flavors together. I have never had a Schnickel-Fritz and said,
banana.
I'm picking up nutmeg and clove.
Do you like-
and there's the banana.
This one is not a specialty beer at all, but I think it's good. I think it is the Shock Top Belgian White.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
That's orangey, citrusy.
Yes, it's
That's
citrusy.
really good.
I like citrusy beers.
Mango Cart's my favorite.
Mango Card is
So-
good.
I do like
Oh,
Mango
it's the
Cart.
best.
Yeah.
On draft, too, at Ballpark Village.
Yeah.
So when I was on the Bourbon Trail, they talk about the notes that you get with bourbon, and there's notes of clove and nutmeg or apricot, all that stuff. And I realized not only do I not get those notes, I don't even know if I've had an apricot in the first place, so I don't know if I could even tell you what that note is.
You've never had an apricot?
I don't think so. But
It
I
kind of
can't.
tastes like peach, doesn't
What
it?
does a clove taste like? What does a nutmeg? What does a nutmeg taste like? I don't know. So
Have you had pumpkin pie?
yeah.
And you know, like,
It's spicy.
The
It's kinda like
spice
a-
that
yeah,
goes
it's
with
like a-
pumpkin
yeah.
pie.
That's the
Okay.
best
Tastes
way to
like that.
describe
Have
it.
you had a dried apricot? Apricot?
No,
Apricot?
I
Have
don't
you
think
had
so.
a fresh apricot?
0 apricots, I think.
I think I'm going to bring in some apricots tomorrow.
Please.
I love apricots.
Okay.
Okay.
Just wait till I'm out before you do this.
I will also say the taste test, since we're talking about beer, and then also taste tests with soda,
Yep.
Pepsi and Coke. Big Blonde Dan says, oh my goodness, the blind Coke Pepsi taste test was the go-to grade school science project of those not scientifically inclined. And then a 217 says, how dumb are the blind taste tests? Oh, I might prefer Pepsi when I can't see the can, but I prefer Coke when I can see it. What am I going to do? Go to my fridge blindfolded every day?
I think the point, I will say it was a pretty brilliant marketing strategy on the part of Pepsi to do
Yeah.
that, because Coca-Cola had been around forever and everything was Coke, 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 right? And then you do this and you tell people, actually, you don't realize this, but you like Pepsi better. Here, do a blind taste test. They had nothing to lose by it, and it worked. And also, they had Michael Jackson as their front man, which at the time was a good idea.
Yeah.
It worked on me.
Yeah.
I've told you this before, that I liked Pepsi because I liked Michael Jackson so much. So I thought, whoa, okay, testimonials work, especially when you're 8.
We didn't drink soda. We weren't really like a soda family, but when we did, it was Pepsi. Like, I know we were more of a Pepsi
So
family.
you weren't a soda family, huh? You were one of those?
Yeah.
Oh, those were the worst.
We didn't have soda.
Ugh.
Well, I told you about how we didn't have a lot of junk food. So when we got Little Debbie's, because my friend was coming over, Meredith, and she came over, and my mom let me buy Little Debbie's Swiss rolls. Those are my favorite. And I mean, I was like 5 probably. And Meredith was like, no, I don't want them. I said, okay, well, and I kept asking her throughout the day, do you want to get a Swiss roll now? Because that's when I got to eat them. No, I have them at home. I don't need them. And so I pulled her into the bathroom and I said, listen to me, Meredith. If you don't eat a Swiss roll with me right now, I will never be your friend again.
Help me.
Then she started to cry, and threw a fit. And then when I told my mom what happened, she was so understanding and she got it. She's like, let's eat the Swiss rolls when Meredith leaves.
Okay. So that's pretty adorable.
I didn't, yeah, she was, I don't think I ever had her over again.
Texter says, are bananas constipating? I don't know. It depends on how you use them. Okay. That's not, you disgusting people. And then we have a science nerd. This person texted in, isomyl acetate, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, is the primary ester responsible for the aroma and taste of banana in fermented beverages, often described as banana-like or pear odor.
Boring.
It is produced naturally by yeast during fermentation as it breaks down leucine, particularly in wheat beers, whiskeys,
Wow.
and rum.
Maybe they just Googled that.
Thank you, science nerd.
It might have just been in Google.
Ugh.
Actually, I do like when we were talking about some people who might be offended by beer. A 314 texted in and said, "Go boycott a Cracker Barrel."
Oh, about Bud Light? Yeah. And here's another texter who says banana flavoring is Amy said that banana flavoring tastes like what people think a banana tastes like, but not really,
It's just close. It's in the vicinity.
It's close enough. And this person says, and I would like to double check on it. So let's get our research team on this. They say banana flavoring is based off a different type of banana that we no longer have available because they went extinct.
I've heard that
really?
before.
I've never heard
like
that
the
before.
Candy Runts.
Yes, thank you. That's what
or
I'm
the
thinking
Laffy
of.
Taffy banana.
Yeah,
Yes.
When you taste a banana flavored thing, it doesn't taste like you're eating a banana because that's an old flavor of banana. I've heard that before too.
Really?
That seems like an
I've
old
never heard
wives'
that.
tale.
And it also feels like that banana would have gone extinct before we made Runts.
Yeah.
Way before. What about Laffy Taffies, though?
I never
Those
got
are
the
old
I'm trying to
candies.
think. It's been a while since I've had a banana Laffy Taffy. Runts
love
are
'em.
so good, though.
Yeah, I love a
Runts
good
are
runt.
really good. Yeah.
Runts are not good, by the way.
Yes, they are.
Runts are good. Stop it. Stop it. It's the Chris
What
and
is a
Amy show.
runt?
It's hard candy.
No, I know, but
A runt is a little. Hey, look at this little runt.
oh yeah, and that's how
The
it
runt
got the
of the
name.
litter.
Yes, that's right. I had a mind blank. I couldn't think of a runt.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Gas House Gang's coming up at 12 o'clock.
it was either this or the war in Iran.
I'm so sorry. Yeah.
We were
Do you want us
supposed
to
to talk
about?
the war in Iran.
We can
and-
talk about gas prices through the damn roof again. You want us to talk about that? Cost $1 million to go to the gas station these days.
It does.
It does.
At
Gas
any
House
rate.
Gang's coming up at 12, where we will definitely not talk about Iran. We will not talk about gas prices, and we certainly are not going to talk about banana flavoring.
I don't know. You never know. A lot of candy is popular.
Maybe Bernie will want to get into it. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Hey, something else that's coming up, Mother's Day on Sunday. And if you're looking for the absolute perfect gift, you can just head to one of the Only Facials St. Louis area locations to pick up a Mother's Day signature facial gift box. Okay, there's a location near you. University City, De Pere, Clayton, Sunset Hills, Frontenac, Creve Coeur, Streets of St. Charles, and now Edwardsville. The Mother's Day gift boxes from the Only Facial, they're the perfect way to celebrate moms in your life. And every Mother's Day box includes a gift card for one 60-minute 11-step signature facial. I love it. Plus complimentary skincare items, all packaged in the Only Facial's unmistakable pink gift box. I've gone to the Only Facial. I've been talking about it. It is such a relaxing time to go there, but also you're doing something for your skin where your skin is glowing immediately afterwards, and you know that it's going to continue to improve week after week, especially if you make the Only Facial part of your routine. So get that started with a Mother's Day gift box. Pick one up at any of their St. Louis area locations, theonlyfacial.com.
On Saturday, May 16th, join KMOX and Grassroots Redeeming Love in commemorating 1 year since the historic EF3 tornado that devastated North St. Louis with a short morning of service. Volunteers will meet in the Kingsway East neighborhood from 9 to 11 to help clear tree limbs and trash. If interested in RSVPing for the cleanup or interested in donating to the effort, go to KMOX.com/events for more information.
At EasyCater, we believe every workday gets better with great food. Like that morning status meeting, always better with bagels. And don't forget the coffee. Ops team working late? How about some Power Bowls to keep them going strong? Sandy's celebrating 10 years at the company. This calls for cupcakes. With EasyCater, you get a huge variety of favorite restaurants with tools to help meet dietary needs and stay on budget, all on one platform. So make every workday better with EasyCater. Start an order at easycater.com.
With the new MyLowe's Pro Rewards American Express card, earn 3 points per dollar spent on Lowe's qualifying purchases for the first 6 months after card account opening. Plus, save 5% every day on eligible purchases at Lowe's and earn points on eligible purchases everywhere else Amex is accepted. Card members get more at Lowe's. Subject to credit approval. 5% can't be combined with any other offer. Exclusions and restrictions apply. Points subject to loyalty terms at Lowe's.com/terms and credit reward terms at Synchrony.com/MLPRA-terms. Visit Lowe's.com/business credit.
Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. Cantor is local, and we're here doing the work every day. We're right here in St. Louis, and we're ready to fight for you. CantorInjuryLaw.com or call 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be solely based on advertisements.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for
There's a new kind of energy at Starbucks. When your day needs a reset, try the all-new energy refreshers. Strawberry acai, mango dragon fruit, or the all-new mango strawberry. The refreshers you love, now with extra caffeine. New energy refreshers only at Starbucks.
How do airplanes fly? What's in this box? What does this thing do?
Kids are curious about everything, including guns. Learn how to store your gun securely and make your home safer at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by End Family Fire, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Chris Raunchy, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Well, Ranj, you were so mean to our texter.
Which one?
You were like, ugh, little bath nerd, texting in.
Oh.
Very mean.
I
and
meant
this
it.
person texts in, you're welcome. Kindness, kill him with kindness. You're welcome. I am a science math nerd. We made banana esters in chem class.
I wasn't.
You owe him or her an apology.
I
Ranj.
am sorry
Yes.
that you went and got offended.
You went.
I just read a story.
Is that how you apologize in all your relationships?
Yeah, I'm
sorry that
went-
you got upset.
I just read a story about, it was a really awful story about this couple that was sentenced for a hate crime, basically. And in the apology, it was a man and a woman, and the woman said something like, "I'm sorry all this happened to you." Like, you didn't do it. It's the worst kind of apology.
The passive. Mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Politicians always use the passive voice.
Yeah, mistakes were made. Bad things
Yeah.
happened. We're sorry this terrible thing happened to you.
Yeah, like if I threw a rock at you and hit you smack in the daggum eye, hit you in the eye with a rock, and I said, I'm sorry you got hit by a rock. Said, I'm sorry I threw the rock at you.
Well, I'm sorry, math and science nerd, that you went and got insulted.
I hope this math and science nerd texts in frequently, because I can tell you we are lacking in the research department.
We really are. We have no research team whatsoever.
No.
They've been taking a break. This texter says, "Hey, Chris, for Mother's Day," because you just did a Mother's Day.
Yeah, the only facial. I'm actually going, I'm not a mother, but I'm going in a couple of weeks, treating myself.
This texter has suggested to me that I can get my wife some child support. I think they're talking about the fake family that I have.
It's not a fake family. They're going to be listening, and you're going to hurt their feelings. Ranj, for people who don't know, Ranj has a secret family in Chicago. Lives in a brownstone. He's a Republican mega donor. He's got a wife and 3 kids.
Yeah. I am a Republican mega donor.
Yeah.
I have a completely different life.
Totally different. Which explains why he leans so far the other way down here, is because he's making up for being a Republican mega donor up in
Right.
Chicago. That's why he goes to Chicago so frequently.
Right.
I mean, you're going to be gone tomorrow, allegedly for a wedding in St. Louis. Who has a Friday
I
wedding?
will-
No one. That's why, because you're lying, because you're going to Chicago.
Actually, I will be at the place we were just talking about 25 minutes ago. Much of the wedding activity is going to be at Anheuser-Busch, which I am looking
that's
forward
fun.
to. I think this will be fun. I think that will be cool.
That would
I
be
love
really
the
fun.
idea of, because they've got a really good venue for
Yeah.
parties. I know there was another friend's wedding that took place there, or an acquaintance's wedding that took place there last year, and they had that whole beer garden area, that giant beer garden area right near the front entrance. You know, they have a canopy over it. They do the reception in there. I know they got that back room where you can go into. Anheuser-Busch, the brewery, is a really, really cool place. I love it so much.
It's
and I'm
great.
looking forward to having a wedding. There's also...
Are they getting married there?
No, they're
Okay.
getting married at a church, but then all the post-wedding stuff is there.
Fun.
And how about this? There is what is on my schedule as a glamour shots with a Clydesdale.
Oh, my gosh. Are you going to do the George Costanza pose in front of the Clydesdale?
I'm gonna take, just underwear, socks, and that's
Yep,
it?
laying down sideways
You damn
seductively.
right. What do you think of glamour shots with a Clydesdale?
That's
that
fun.
happens tomorrow.
Okay, you have to send that over.
Okay.
Okay. That is going to be fun. We need to get the update on Ronja's glamour shot with the Clydesdale because he loves them. Ron, remember when I brought up the Clark Gable, Claudette Colbert movie?
Yeah,
and
the
I said,
90-year-old movie you brought up today?
Yeah, it's 1934, that movie, and I love it. We have a texter that says, I know that courthouse wedding movie. I'm 93, Amy.
Okay, well,
That's what the person texted.
see? There you go. That's the only person who knew it.
I'm 93, Amy. I feel judgment in that.
You have to be literally 93 years old to know the movie. Or be Amy.
You know they based Bugs Bunny off of Clark Gable.
No.
They
How?
did. And I think it was that movie. You know how he's always chewing on a carrot? In that movie, Clark Gable has like a carrot and he's like, say? I'm not
Oh.
even joking.
Oh. Well, that's interesting. I
I
had no
know.
idea.
I'm going to go double check and make sure that's right, but I am 99% sure that's right.
Guys, have a great rest of your Thursday.
Thanks.
It's a nice day. I'm not talking to
Oh,
you.
sorry.
You do this every time. I'm talking to the person listening right now who gave us their time today. Mercifully gave us their time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for calling and being a part of the show and texting and everything else. We want you to come back tomorrow at 9 o'clock. It'll be Hancock and Kelly with Amy here. And that's how your Friday is going to start. Anything you missed, Odyssey app, go back and get the podcasts, or iHeart app, or wherever you get your podcasts, KMOX.com as well. Gas House Gang, Bernie Miklasz, Chris Ranji, Mike Farron from MLB Network Radio, all coming up next on KMOX. There's banana in Schnickel Fritz?
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.